Break it down now.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gill Alexander on a Monday guessing lines with my little buddy Kelley Bydlon, everybody.
Hey, how we doing?
How you doing?
Good weekend. NFL betting could have gone better, Gil.
Yeah.
But we got 3 hours to break that down.
Yeah, we sure do. Guessing lines, for those who don't know, again, our weekly activity, interactive. I hope you do it on your own as we're doing it, to try to extract value in the upcoming week's NFL lines as we go through yesterday's games. I take a stab at what I think next week's lines might be. Kelley tells me what they are. And within that exercise, we look to find some value. Adam Burke will join us a little later on as he gets to decide what dinner location he wants me to take him to for our Guardians bet.
Officially done?
Officially done. He's the winner. Guardians aren't officially done. That's a whole baseball story that we have to get into also with him. I texted him on Saturday. I'm like, you know what? Tip of the cap at this point. I hope they do ridiculously great things.
Yeah, what a run.
Though they did lose yesterday, but we will talk to Adam about that a little later on. We'll do it all. Guessing lines, as always with the guessing lines, we start with a sort of barometer read, courtesy of Circa Survivor, where we had our first two games of any kind of magnitude go against the pool of Circa Survivor players. That, of course, being the losses from the Green Bay Packers against the Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons getting trounced by the Carolina Panthers. Boy, was I wrong about that one, ATS. My God. And those also took, by the way, 1,817 Survivor entries on the Packers, 1,179 on the Falcons. Even 10 Grandissimos got knocked out, 8 and 2 respectively from those two teams.
Going to feel that one a bit more over in Grandissimo than regular Survivor. Oof.
And as I said on Twitter yesterday, and as Circa tweeted, it has begun, right? This has finally begun. Now, if we go through the historicals, now I understand we have one more game tonight. So this is one game shy. Does anybody have the Ravens or the Lions tonight?
I'm on the Ravens.
No, I'm talking about Survivor.
Oh.
I'm not talking about you, Kelley. Relax. Yes, there are
3 hours of that, Gill.
Just relax for a second. We're doing a Survivor bit. So some people do have the Ravens tonight in Survivor. So one game shy of the end of, week 3 of the 2025 Survivor history. A grand total of 20, now with those two big losses yesterday leading the way, 26.05% of all Circa Survivor entries are out. But if we do the historicals of the 6-year Survivor arc here at Circa, it is still the lowest percentage ever through 3 weeks. Just barely lower than the 28.5% that were out through 3 weeks the second year of this back in 2021. Last year, remember at this time, Kelley, 95.5% were gone. Last year will never be topped. Last year was insane. Last year, there was only 642 out of 14,266 left after 3 weeks. And remember, that group then got super stagnant the rest of the way. It was actually 98% after week 5, something like that. And then they went the distance. You know, they got to the end. So here,
I just remember us doing the updates it was crazy these first few weeks. And then the updates every week. It's like, well, two people are out or something like that.
But even with those two, the Packers and Falcons yesterday, this is still the lowest percentage of Survivor entries gone through 3 weeks in the 6-year history of Circa Survivor. Congratulations to all who've gotten through. Darnell, do we have Beyonce? She's always around when we don't need her. No? Not around yet? Okay.
Oh, she might be. Right. She's just getting ready for the show.
Survivor is the only thing that provides joy in the NFL because you got all the entries through again, but it's like the other stuff.
It was the only thing that went well for me. Seahawks Survivor betting was a disaster yesterday. Millions was a disaster. Survivor, thank God for the Seahawks.
I had the Rams plus 3.5 in millions, and I had bets on it, so that was fun. We'll get to that. The worst beat of the entire National Football League season. Shall we begin?
Let's do it.
Guessing lines. All right.
By
By the way, you know what you didn't ask me?
What?
The actual intrinsic value of each Survivor entry now.
Oh, you know why? You know why I don't think I thought to ask? Because old Danny Higgins ran the numbers this morning, so I already know.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
What did he come up with?
1,300 something?
1352.26. Chop
it.
All right, what's Thursday?
Call me up. Who wants percentage?
What's Thursday night?
Thursday night, a battle out west in the NFC. Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Oh, 2-2-1 teams.
Should be a fun one.
One of these teams, barring a tie, is going to be 3-1.
Yeah.
Wow. That is interesting. They feel like a 3-1 team to you, one of these two teams?
No, not at all.
Seattle, easy peasy for the most popular Survivor play for those of us. This was about as cakewalky as it gets. May they all be that easy in Survivor. The only thing you need to know is the first half stuff. New Orleans 4th and 2 against Seattle yesterday at the Seattle 45. Rattler overthrows Kamara downfield. Seattle from their own 45. Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba for 29. The big chunk eventually to Smith and Jigba for 12. 7-0 Seattle. First 5 minutes and change of the first quarter. Then New Orleans 3-and-out when a Tuchus Kelley got flagged for a false start. Remember how they said, "Hey, watch the Eagles," and that Tuchus, they're false starting. Of course, when the Eagles do it, they didn't call the false start.
Yeah.
Here's New Orleans on the other side of the country getting called for it, false start. The Tuchus
They need all the help they can get.
And then Kai Kroger goes out to punt, and Torrey Horton returns at 95 yards to the house, 14-0 Seattle halfway through the first. Then another 3-and-out. Kroger punt block this time, recovered by Jalen Ford. Seattle takes over the New Orleans 11. Darnold cut for 8 to Walker in himself from 3. 21-0. We're still in the first quarter. Then New Orleans 4th and 4 to Seattle 9, down 21-0. Kelley. We're late first quarter. We're early second quarter. Pardon me. You kick a field goal here, down 21-0.
Oh boy,
4th and 4 to Seattle 9.
Yeah, I was. Look, I'm not going to judge. It was still early in the game. I would have gone for it though. I was sitting there thinking, man, this is going to get out of hand quick. You kicking field goals.
Krupe, 27-yard field goal, 21-3. And then Seattle, Derek Young returns a kickoff 60 yards. Sets up Seattle at the New Orleans 38. Second play, Darnold, A.J. Barner for 23. Then to Horton in the end zone. Touchdown for 14 out, 28-3. Later, it would get to 25-3. By the way, when it was 28-3 Seattle, so let's just review. This is all you need to know about this game. 28-3 Seattle. Mm-hmm. At that point in the game, remember, we had a punt return for a touchdown, a punt block that set up Seattle. What else did I just talk about here? We also had the kickoff return for 60 yards. You know how much total offense they had up? 28-3? 78 yards.
Yep.
That's all they needed. Later, it would be 35-3 when New Orleans 4th and 2 at the Seattle 33 decides to kick a 52-yard field goal. Really? You're down 28-3 and it's 4th and 2?
I mean, that one...
the Seattle 33?
That one's more egregious to me.
You're right. It is more egregious. By the way, Grupe then goes ahead and misses the 52-yarder wide right, serves right, and then Myers sticks a 56-yarder, 38-3. It'd be 38-6 at the half. And that last field goal for New Orleans to make it from 38-3 to 38-6 allowed the Saints to avoid the worst first-half deficit in franchise history. Wow. Final score 44-13. You know the rest. Doesn't matter. And then there's Arizona against against San Francisco yesterday. This game was the only thing you need to know about is the second half in this game, 6-3 San Francisco. This is the third quarter. Arizona on a drive during which James Conner appears to have blown out his knee. That was another theme from yesterday.
Ugh.
Just catastrophic injuries. Conner carted off. Next play, Harrison Jr. wide open. This is the first drive for Arizona in the second half, down 6-3. Next play, Harrison Jr. wide open for what would have been a big play. He straight drops it.
Whoops.
Eventually, 4th and 4 to San Francisco 49. Kyler to Michael Wilson for 5. They get a big 29-yard run from Trey Benson 2 plays later. And then 3 plays later, 3rd and 5 to the San Francisco 9. Kyler to Amari DeMarcado. He's just going to walk into the end zone, drops it. Forced to settle for a Ryland 28-yard field goal, 6-6. So let's review. They lose James Conner for the season, as it appears. And they have 2 just straight drops in that drive. 6-6. San Francisco, Mac Jones. Then the Niners, after he tweaks his foot, they get it to 1st and goal at the 6. 3 from Brian Robinson Jr., 2 from McCaffrey. Then McCaffrey stuffed. What do you do here at the doorstep? 6-6. You go for it or you kick a field goal?
Going for it.
I do too. Jones incomplete, intended for McCaffrey. Big hit on that play. Then after an Arizona 3-and-out, Murray comes about a half yard away from intentional grounding in the end zone, by the way there. Still 6-6 game. San Francisco set up at the Arizona 48, 4th and 2 at the Arizona 40 eventually. Jones goes deep to Pearsall for 34. What a catch. 2 plays later, back to Juszczyk from 2 out. 13-6 San Francisco, 10:50 left. Arizona all of a sudden. Hey, we're allowed to score touchdowns? You just did one? We'll do one. Kyler to Harrison Jr. for 32 to start. 2 plays later, 33-yard PI. 2 plays after that, Kyler to Trey McBride from 2 out, 13 apiece. 8:37 left. And then San Francisco from their own 28 to the Arizona 36, 3rd and 5. Mack, Aaron throw picked by Dadrion Taylor Demerson. And it looks like Arizona's in control, but it's a 3 and out. San Francisco takes over with 3:29 left from their own 6. Tie game, 13 apiece. 2nd and 10 from their 6. They hold in the end zone. Arizona gets the safety. And remember, San Francisco has to kick away. 15-13 Cardinals, and they have the ball with their own 35 with 3:10 left. They're going to preserve the victory, right? Nope. Punt when Zay Jones can't hang on to a 3rd down pass from Kyler. Just squirts out. And San Francisco from their own 20 with 1:46 left. The Mac Jones show. Mac to Tongas for 11, to Sky Moore for 10, to Bourne for 7, to Bourne for 11, to McCaffrey for 20. Pinheiro, 35-yard field goal at the buzzer, right down the pipe. Niners win it, 16-15. Seattle at Arizona. I'd say, you know what, this won't be a knee-jerk 3 on the Cardinals, but because of Connor, I'll say Arizona minus 2.5.
Opened 2.5. At a couple shops, we are Cardinals 1.5 everywhere right now.
Okay.
Which I think sounds right.
That's about right.
I don't know if we'd go full half point for Connor, but man, me and you have talked about it all. We talked about it a bunch during the offseason. One of the more underrated backs in the NFL to me. James Conner, is so reliable.
8 touchdowns a year.
Yeah, like everybody thought he was going to drop off these years in Arizona, and he's just continued to be productive. Like that's a concern for me with this team going forward for sure.
All right, looking for value. National Football League. What a nutty day. We bet on this stuff, by the way. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The NFL season is rolling, and every snap brings new opportunities. Make sure you've got the edge with VSiN Pro. Right now, you can save 40% on our football season special with a numbers game promo code ANG. Is that promo code, Kelley?
ANG as in a numbers game, Gill.
You'll get VSiN Pro access to everything we do across every sport from now through the Super Bowl. That means daily best bets plus a leaderboard of our top experts. Real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits updated every 5 minutes. Proven betting systems and pro tools at VSiN.com. 24/7 video replays and live breakdowns on the VSiN Watch app. Don't wait. Lock in 40% off today with promo code ANG at VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe.
For everybody listening, watching too, thank you as always. Heard Jensen Lewis this morning, though, bring up that their show was going to smash every other show on the network, Gill, about new signups. So get out there, do your part for a numbers game, okay? Steal your wife's credit card or something like that and sign up a few extra, do whatever you can, okay?
That's right. And they have a 5,000 affiliate advantage over the rest of the shows.
That's right. They just got a brand new fancy TV audience, and we're still going to smash them, okay? Numbers game army, let's go.
David and Goliath, baby.
Coming for you, J. Lou. I see you talking trash.
Put him in his place.
Yeah.
We get tweets at Beating the Book. Mike Boreali. Gill, I heard another football cliche yesterday from a college coach commenting on an opposing running back.
I heard a couple good ones.
He said he runs behind his pads as opposed to what? I love that. Runs behind his pads. I love when they run behind their pads. Brandon Fear, I know this will come up on guessing lines. Last year, the Chiefs won a bunch of one-score games. This year, the Eagles have done the same, yet are they a super team? It's funny how different perspectives are. No answer needed, just the NFL. Love the show and pod. Thank you, Brandon Fear. Tenalach. Down in Australia. I wonder if he's in Adelaide.
I like no answer needed. Is like we don't have the answers. It's the NFL. Like it's just the NFL being the NFL.
Tenalach says we can all do without Collinsworth's sexy Dexy from last night and ridiculous gushing of Dart replicating Mahomes at training camp. Just stop, or in practice, he means. Just stop it. Rams beat an all-time gut punch, but like the sadists we are, we're looking for value on a guessing lines. Absolutely we are. James Fraction. Hey, Gill, it's James Fraction. I like that when people do that. James Fraction, they go, hey, Gill, it's James Fraction.
That's nice.
We talked for a few minutes at Circa a few days before the Week 1 games. Yes, I remember. Nice to meet you, James. He says, I'm back on X. My next post is for today's show, if you could fit it in. His next post is, the finish to that Rams game is why I missed teasers and legal books. It was a perfect Bydlon teaser leg to plus 10.5 when it opened plus 4.5. Terrible for any Rams backers yesterday.
Yeah. The problem with the Bydlon teaser, though, is everything was paired with the Packers. So, yeah.
Kelley Bydlon, everybody.
Bloodbath.
Brian Morian, and a lot of value in college football, though. Again, Kelley went 2-1, getting there with UNLV and Washington. tough break with the late safety losing Auburn. Oh, Auburn was its unique, special kind of bad beat.
Yeah, that stunk.
As we talk about the Rams, Auburn's like, hey, we're here.
I had 7 on the game, so at least it was a push, but that stunk.
Last one for now. We're way behind on the tweets already. Bobby Geddes, who says I mispronounce his name, but prefers me mispronouncing it. He says, was very sad this morning, realized I couldn't watch Guessing Lines while in Italy. But wait, I then remembered the VSiN Watch app. Let's ride. However, with my luck this weekend, I'll probably fumble my phone into the water like my Patriots. Yeah.
What a flex. I see that flex, Bobby. I see it.
Nicely done, Bobby. I see what you did there. Okay, let's move on.
Who was it? Aaron Gordon last week I was texting you about on NBA Today, just on the back of his yacht in Italy, being like, it was his birthday. He was drunk. He had a beer in his hand.
Poor Malika.
Doing an interview with Malika, and it was like, it was just one of those, it definitely sounded like a better idea as an idea before he actually started doing it. And then he started doing the interview, and it was like, oh boy.
It's a good life for those NBA players.
Yeah, that NBA money's good. Yeah. Pretty good. You want to go to Ireland?
Let's go to Ireland.
6:30 a.m. Pacific time this Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Dublin, Ireland, Vikings versus the Steelers.
Why do you kids say verse? What happened to verses? Why you guys know that it's verses? I noticed that thing. You know who
it's a good call out.
You know who was the first person who did that all the time? Danielle. Danielle used to be
really?
Verse all the time. Yeah. Minnesota.
I usually go at, but I had to throw in the VS because we're not at. We're in Dublin.
Is another game between 2-2-1s. The Vikings and the Steelers. One of these teams, barring a tie, will be 3-1. Good God.
Yeah, good God.
Vikings willing to go through the first half of this because it wasn't it was just as ridiculous as the Seattle first half, though from a defensive standpoint, Minnesota doing its damage, not in special teams. 7-0 Minnesota early, then Cincinnati 2nd and 9 at the Minnesota 29 after they matriculated. Browning under duress throws it up, picked by Isaiah Rodgers. 89 yards to the house, 14-0 Minnesota. Oh, Isaiah Rodgers was not done. 17-3 now. Vikings. 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 36. Browning to Noah Fant for 2. Punched out by Isaiah Rodgers. Gets up, recovers it. 66 to the house. Second touchdown of the game for Isaiah Rodgers. 24-3 Minnesota. Closing minutes of the second quarter. 1:47 left. But Cincinnati's second play of the next drive. Browning to Jamar. Punched out by Isaiah Rodgers. Recovered by Jeff Okudah.
Pretty good game.
He had a season and a half.
Yeah, he really did.
In one half, he had a whole season of forcing turnovers. Recovered by Jeff Okudah. Minnesota from their own 48 with 1:21 left. Carson Wentz to Jefferson for 36. 2 plays later, Jordan Mason in from 5. It was 31-3. With 33 seconds, you figure, okay, 31-3, that's the end of the half, right? 33? Nope. Cincinnati first play, Pirine tackled by Jalen Redmond, fumbles, Jonathan Allen recovers. Minnesota at the Cincinnati 47 with 20 seconds left in the half. 3 yards net. Will Reichert, 62-yard field goal, good. 34-3. Final score would be 48-3. Excuse me, 48-10. They got a garbage touchdown. Did the Bengals. I mean, come on. By the way, you know what the total yards in this game was? We talked about when Seattle was up. They only had 78 total yards of offense when they were up 28-3.
I mean, no, but Minnesota couldn't have had too much because of all the turnovers.
144-99 at the half in total yards. That's all you needed. As far as Pittsburgh's concerned, Pittsburgh-New England, this is one of the games that sort of, I don't know how much people saw of this if they were trying to take an NFL yesterday. Wasn't exactly a barn burner. New England, after Drake May threw a would-be pick to Chuck Clark that he dropped. 1st and 10 on 36. Ramondre hit by Cole Holcomb, fumbles. Darius Slay recovers after a PI set up at the own 46. A drive featuring 6 straight Jalen Warren rushes. Kenneth Gainwell in from 7-0 Pittsburgh. Next time they got the ball, they went 90 yards of the Steelers. Rodgers to DK from 12 out, 14-0 Pittsburgh. Early second quarter, you figured, is this going to be a rout? Nope. New England, 77 yards, made a Hunter Henry from 5 out, 14-7. And then later in the half, and this is where it gets ridiculous for New England, because the story of this game, right? We had a special team story with Seattle. We had a defensive story with Minnesota. The story of this game is New England's turnovers. Down 14-7 late first half, late second quarter. 3rd and goal to Pittsburgh 2, 12 seconds. May picked in the end zone by Brandon Eccles. So Pittsburgh staves him off there with a pick. Then first time Pittsburgh gets the ball in the third quarter, Rodgers is picked over the middle by Robert Spillane, and he returns at 37 yards. New England set up at the Pittsburgh 11. Remember, they just got stopped at the 2 with a pick the last time they had the ball. This time they start at the 11. To Henry for 9, down to the 2 again. 2nd and 1 from the 2. Ramondre hit by Patrick Queen. He fumbles. Recovered by Peyton Wilson for Pittsburgh. Next time New England gets the ball, set up at their own 46, third play, 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 43. Antonio Gibson, tackled by Jabril Peppers, fumbles, recovered by Peppers. Next time New England gets the ball, this time they do go 88 yards, including a 4th and 1 in Pittsburgh territory, where Trevion Henderson got 2, but Pittsburgh committed an illegal use of hands penalty anyway. 5 plays later, May to Henry from 16 out, and despite 3 horrific turnovers, 2 at the doorstep, we're tied at 14 apiece early fourth quarter. New England will get the ball back, tie game, start at their own 18. They get it to 4th and 1 at the Pittsburgh 40. May for 7. Next play, 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 33 with 7:48 to go. You guessed it. May sacked by Nate Herbig, fumbles, recovered by TJ Watt. Then, of course, Pittsburgh says, okay, enough of this. If we can't take advantage of 4 turnovers and win the game, my God. 62 yards, Rodgers to Calvin Austin, back shoulder from 17 out. Nice pass by Aaron. 21-14 Pittsburgh with 2:16 left. New England with the ball. Matriculate. 4th and 1 at the Pittsburgh 28 with 1:06 left. They need 7 to tie. May to Demario Douglas, right at the sticks, takes a step back to try to create space, make a move, tackled by Brandon Nichols well behind the sticks. New England with only 1 timeout, 1:03 to go. They couldn't do anything. Ball game. I mean, +4 in turnovers for the Steelers. +4. 5 total turnovers for the Patriots, just 1 for the Steelers. That's your ball game. Pittsburgh wins that one. Minnesota at Pittsburgh in Dublin. I thought about this. Is there anything else but a pick 'em? Because I really don't know what we have in the Steelers, again, based on New England's turnovers. I really don't know what we have with the Vikings based on their defensive win yesterday. Carson Wentz, by the way, looks better than J.J. McCarthy did. I'll say that. It's a pick 'em.
2 good coaching staffs. So that's all I can say about these teams.
Neutral location, yeah.
Because, I don't know how good either one of these teams are. Like you said, one of them is going to be 3-1. You're basically right, Gill. We have taken Minnesota money since open. I saw on open both shops open, both the Vikings and the Steelers 1-point favorite. Either way, it's now kind of consensus over the Vikings side of this. So Vikings 1.5 to 2-point favorites out there.
Let it get to 3 either way. It's the only way I'm making a play here. Want no part of this game.
Man, I think I would need either. I think I would even need 3 and a hook to get involved. I don't know that I'm picking either side with 3.
Do you think this is the beginning of the international swing of games, right? Vikings have 2 in a row here, right?
Yeah.
Then they go to England.
London next week.
They go to London next week. I think that's a Tottenham game, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Jaguars do their London thing at Wembley because they're the official home team of London, England, of course. Do these international games do it for you at all after all these years?
No.
I don't.
Not really.
Do you even get up for the kickoff?
Yeah, usually.
I try to.
But it helps that we wake up so early regularly.
Right. That's the only way. Looking for value. We'll get to stateside Sunday games next on A Numbers Game right here at VSiN.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Monday Night Football just got better with Bracco. Every NFL player prop priced at a fair -110, -110. Instead of the inflated -120 you see elsewhere, giving you more value on every play. And right now, get Bracco's welcome bonus. Just use code VSiN for a 50% deposit match up to $100 for new users, plus monthly rewards whether you win or lose. Sign up today. Start betting smarter at Play Bracco. That's BRACCO. PlayBracco.com. What you smiling at?
Nah, you just schooled me on an alcoholic beverage that sounds absolutely disgusting.
Okay, tell me. Wait, Calimocho?
So Calimocho.
Yeah.
Is Spanish red wine and Coca-Cola.
That's what it is. Red wine and Coca-Cola.
Half and half mixed together.
So in the late 80s, or actually not late 80s, but in the 80s in Spain, that's what all the teenagers, that's what all the cool kids were drinking.
Oh, man.
And they would get borracho off Calimocho.
That sounds like a brutal combo. I didn't realize that was a popular drink, and you are absolutely right. A very popular drink.
I don't know if it is today, but I guess you're saying Google says it is.
Very popular Spanish party cocktail.
Can we shout out the Godfather, VSiN founder, Brent Musburger? Yesterday, the CBS preview show, the CBS morning show before football, what do we call it? The CBS... I don't know what they call it.
I don't know.
I don't know. It used to be, of course, the NFL Today when Brent was the host, and it's the 50-year anniversary. 50 years.
Still the NFL Today.
It's still called the NFL Today? Mid-September of 1975. And I was a wee lad. And the NFL Today debuted with Brent, with Phyllis George, with Irv Cross, of course. And it was groundbreaking. And Brent, of course, is a VSiN founder. And yesterday, all of the current hosts, James Brown, Nate Burleson, Matt Ryan, Bill Cower, they all went into, and the set itself, even the open of the NFL Today yesterday, used the old music and the old graphics.
Oh, that's cool.
And they put on, and where it got a little ridiculous is they started putting on like 70s garb. So they kind of looked like they were right out of an Anchorman. But they had Brent on set as well. Brent did the You Are Looking Live at the beginning of the NFL Today yesterday. His voice hasn't lost, forget a step, hasn't lost a quarter step.
Not at
It's
all.
just the pipes are still perfect. Yeah. We love our Brent. And so I just wanted to shout out VSiN founder. And really, none of us would be around here, right? Were it not for Brent getting behind the VSiN idea. And so just a shout out to him.
That's very cool. I missed that yesterday.
Well-deserved tribute yesterday. I'm glad that CBS had the presence of mind to do that. Obviously, Brent now in the Hall of Fame as well, where he should be. There are so many of us of a certain age that we were reared on the NFL Today and couldn't wait. I could not wait from when I woke up Sunday morning, man. I couldn't wait for that show to come on. Just absolutely
50-year
couldn't.
anniversary. That's incredible.
Yeah, so good for CBS. They really did the full workup on it yesterday with the graphics and everything. Even had the old Jimmy the Greek intangibles board.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they even did a bit with that as well. So there you go. All right, back to guess. Oh no, so let me read some tweets before we get one more guessing line, shall I? Kenny Dillingham sexual. Love when he does that. Scatabo with a big offensive rookie of the year move after last night was 100-1 before yesterday, as low as 10-1 now in the market. Can this meatball take this award with Tracy out? Yeah, Tracy got hurt yesterday. Tyrone Tracy in the arm. I don't know. It's going to be tough because that team's going to be bad. Can he win offensive rookie of the year? Well, offensive rookie of the year, you never know, right? Because as long as Cam Ward, the company, not doing anything, maybe.
Here's what I'll say about that. He's the second best rookie running back I've seen so far in the NFL, Gill.
Besides
Quinshon Judkins?
Yeah.
Like I don't even ask me where Ashton Genty is because he's behind those two at least.
Jesse Welch, the fact that I'm sitting here with losers on both the Patriots and the over is baffling to me. Why do we subject ourselves to this crap? Judd O'Connor, I blasted Chiefs and all my survivors. They are by far the worst team to watch in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. It's a great day when you don't have to suffer rooting for that team. Jack Hannon, football gods, Ravens week 1, Dallas teaser week 2, was ready to forgive and call it even. Week 3 entered Jordan Davis for perhaps the worst bad beat ever. Yeah, we'll get to that. And Brian Schaefer, 31. Jalen Hurts, last 20 games, 19-1, and the loss he got versus the Commanders, they were leading that game. Time to put him up there with the top quarterbacks, Brian Schaefer says. We play to win the game, he says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's get to another one on Sunday.
All right, early window stateside, Commanders at the Falcons.
How about them Commodores? Marcus Mariota solidifying himself again as a conservatively top 5 backup quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
3 times now he has played instead of Jaden Daniels, and 3 times he has looked awesome. Yesterday, Debo returned the opening kickoff against the Raiders, 69 yards, set up at the Las Vegas 27. Rodriguez 4 runs, Mariota in from 2, 7-0 Washington. 7-3 a little later. Washington 2nd-1 at the Las Vegas 49. Mariota for 23 on a designed run, but then he's hit from behind by Thomas Booker. Coughs it up, recovered by Blue Kelley. Washington would get it back, and Matt Gay would push a 37-yard field goal wide right. So at this point, 7-3 Washington, and it looks like maybe the Raiders can play a little football, but Geno's almost picked on a tip drill on 3rd down on the next drive. Matt Gay would hit a 46-yard field goal to make it 10-3. Las Vegas would go 80 yards. Geno to Trey Tucker for 18 to start. What a fantasy day for Trey Tucker. To Tucker for 17 later. To Tucker from 10 out to end it. 10-10. 4:20 left in the second quarter. And from that point forward, it was kind of all skins. Second play next drive. Jeremy McNichols breaks through after looking like he was bottled up. 60 yards to the house. 17-10 Washington. 3:31 left. And then the next time they'd get the ball from their own 35 with 27 seconds left in the second quarter, aided by a face mask penalty, and Dan Quinn trucked by Mariota on the sideline, bloodied. Matt Gay, 56-yard field goal, 20-10 skins at the half. Second time 3 and out for Vegas, 3 and out for Washington, and then 3 and out for Vegas. They punted away, and Jalen Lane, one of Adam Peters' great draft picks, who was drafted out of Vatech really because he was the best punt returner in the land, per Peters. Jalen Lane returns an A.J. Cole punt 90 yards to the house, 27-10 Washington. Next time they get the ball, second play, Mariota to McLaurin, the incomparable Terry McLaurin showing up for 56. 3 plays later, Krosky Meriden from 134-10 Washington. Man, that got out of hand quick. And then it was just garbage time from there, featuring Trey Tucker. He'd score from 10 out again and make it 34-16. They'd miss the 2-point conversion. Another time, Geno to Trey Tucker for 61. That time, the 2-point conversion worked. So 34-24. And then Washington would get a garbage touchdown on top of that when Luke McCaffrey had no Raider within 20 yards of him for 43. 41-24. Washington. Mariota, 15 of 21 for 207. 1 touchdown, no picks, 6 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown. He did lose a fumble. And then there is, of all the outcomes yesterday, I don't know what was the most surprising. Maybe it was Green Bay, Cleveland. But Atlanta, Carolina deserves a nod. Carolina 30, Atlanta nothing. The Falcons yesterday, Parker Romo, who took the job from Younghoe Koo, they finally cut Koo. He misses a 49-yard field goal try badly to start. That was a portent of things to come. Carolina then goes 9 plays, 61 yards. Bryce to Teteroa McMillan for 23, the big chunk on 4th and 3 at the Atlanta 39. 3 plays later, Bryce in from 4, 7-0 Carolina. Midway, a little past the midway point of the first quarter. Atlanta 3 and out, but on a Bradley Pinion punt, Trevor Etienne muffs it, recovered by DeMarco Helms. Atlanta set up at the Carolina 33. Romo had to settle for the Romo 55-yard field goal try, remember? They just signed him and played great last week, so they cut Younghoe Koo. No good again. 10-0 Carolina, third quarter. Atlanta, second play, 2nd and 8 at their own 16. Penix picked by Chow Smith-Wade, 13 yards to the house, 17-0. Atlanta, 4th and 4 at their own 45. Penix incomplete, intended for Ray McLeod. It would go to 20-0. And then finally, Atlanta, 4th and 8 at the Carolina 31. Penix picked by Mike Jackson, returns at 54 yards. Carolina set up 4th and goal at the 1 eventually. Dowdle in from 1, 27-0, 30-0. And then Atlanta just waved the white flag. Kirk Cousins got in this game. Between this game and remember, in Atlanta's big victory last week, they still couldn't get in the end zone, right? They still had an end zone problem in a game they dominated.
Mm-hmm. That's Minnesota.
Washington Atlanta here is a pretty good barometer game for both teams. Will we get Jaden Daniels back for Washington? That's question number 1. And then question number 2, is Atlanta going to stick with Penix here? Are they going to stick with Penix? And the word is that they will. Then what's the spread here? Because here's the thing. If this is a game that before the season, maybe Atlanta's favored here, Washington has to be favored now. I'll say not quite by 3. I said Washington minus 1.5. Split the difference.
This is Washington 2.5, 3 out there right now.
Okay.
Man, I'm surprised you brought up a Penix benching.
Well, because if you're Atlanta,
I mean, that was a very, very, very rough game out of him yesterday.
Well, and I thought the week before was kind of too. And they probably should have won week 1 and they couldn't get it done against Tampa Bay. So I'm just saying, if you're Atlanta, like you don't want this season to get away from you. You have a lot of talent on offense. Your defense actually is pretty good, although it didn't seem that. I mean, listen, they outgained Carolina 332 to 224. It's not like Carolina got a lot of yards on offense, right? Your defense is really good. Every one of these games was strange, right? Either special teams that we've talked about, defense, turnovers induced. Here you're getting outgained and you're still winning by 30 points. I don't know. Do you go to Cousins? You're paying him a lot of money. By the way, 1,179 survivors once again out on Atlanta.
I think you just got to stick with Penix at this point. But, man, I hear you.
If Washington wins that puts a lot of that preseason, they're not going to be good this year, to bed. But Atlanta's got to get off the schneid. Coming back.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
The season may have started, but you can still jump into the VSiN Average Joe contest sponsored by Edge Boost. Each week you make 7 picks, NFL or college, and the best score of the week wins $500. If you have an Edge Boost account already, though, then it's $1,000 every week. And if that's not enough, there are quarterly prizes too, airfare to Las Vegas and a free 2-night stay at Circa Resort, and your chance to be on a VSiN show. How about that? Free to play, and you can enter anytime at vsin.com/Joe. You know, people like, they say that John Tesh round ball rock for the NBA from the 90s gets them all fired up, and they're going to reuse that this year. Nothing like the NFL Today theme, though.
That's a good one. I like John Tesh, but I hear
The old Brent Musburger NFL Today thing.
You haven't caught that commercial? They've literally done a commercial around that song coming back, just to promote the NBA coming back to NBC. And Tracy Morgan at the end is just like, John Tesh still got it.
Greg Nersessian on Twitter. I'm genuinely shocked that none of the VSiN shows, yours included, never publicized the legend Brent Musburger's appearance on the NFL Today. I caught it halfway on, and it was a wonderful journey through memory lane. Well, Greg, I just went through it. Talked about it last segment. It was fantastic. So you have to remove me from that list. Minky Monkey Man. Ha! Gill using barn burner. Legendary granddad saying. Aging more and more each show. Love it. Any idea the origin of barn burner? It's by Keith Jackson tribute. You know who Keith Jackson is, Kelley?
Mm-hmm. I don't know where barn burner came from.
He used to say, Nebraska and Oklahoma, it's going to be a barn burner. He used to say stuff like that. Johnny Vegas. This is for you, Kelley. Johnny Vegas has a screenshot of his Daniel Jones Comeback Player of the Year ticket. Danny Dimes, 19-1 last week, Comeback Player of the Year. Now plus 450 at some places. Thoughts? We go to our special Comeback Player of the Year correspondent, Kelley Bydlon, for his reaction.
Value on the board elsewhere. That's what I got. Gil. Value on the board elsewhere.
Oh, man.
That team could be 11-0, and I'm still going to say the same thing.
Real Knicks, 1975 was when I first remember the NFL hearing Brent say, "You are looking live." Yesterday sent chills throughout my body. Boy, I miss my cousin Jimmy the Greek. And new rule, you and Kelley must start drinking Cali Mocho during Estamos Seguros.
Oh, boy. Gil. I mean, Gil doesn't drink. I'm a drinker, but like that... That'd be like me. That'd be like the throwback to the eggnog days. That would be tough to get through.
I used to try to drink that Cali Mocho. It was disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm a little surprised. I'm seeing DraftKings has decided to not post Comeback Player of the Year.
And finally, Mr. Rothstein. A lot of wonderful nostalgia seeing the Godfather Brent Musburger and the retro NFL Today yesterday. It sure was, man. It was. I'll say it again. It was so great. They did a perfect touch to it. The graphics and the set. The graphics were the best part of it. Just going old school 70s.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And back then, we just thought it was the most cool thing in the world. Stadium to stadium looking live. Man, it was awesome. All right, next.
Early window Sunday, Saints at Bills.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to get much into this. It's the 0-3 Saints at the 3-0 Bills. We already talked about the Saints getting crushed by Seattle. Spencer Rattler, 28 of 39 for 218. One touchdown, one pick. He was sacked twice. By the way, Tyler Shuck got in, and I think he threw 2 incomplete passes at the end, if I'm not mistaken. And then Buffalo, off the extra rest, having beaten Miami on Thursday. Josh Allen was 22 of 28 in that game for 213, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And James Cook, 19 for 108 on the ground and a touch. Well, this is going to be a popular Survivor play if you have not used Buffalo already. And this will be I would imagine, the biggest spread on the board based on what is there another NFL matchup that could be wider than this? Maybe.
Hell yeah.
A Buffalo minus 14 and a hook.
Yeah, you're light. 16.5.
Wow.
17 at stations.
Wow. Yeah.
27.5 in Kelley's mind.
When is your book opening so we can bet there? All right.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's got to be over 2 touchdowns. That's all I know. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Survivor consideration. I cannot imagine getting involved in that game anywhere else.
Say that again.
I said it will be a Survivor consideration for me. I cannot imagine getting involved in that game, side or total.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. Moving on. Browns at Lions.
Browns at Lions, 2 teams that have never made a Super Bowl. Cleveland now 1-2, Detroit 1-1, because remember, Detroit plays at the Ravens tonight.
I'm just going to go in the green room and scream for the next 5 minutes.
When I did my Survivor segment last week. Now, the guessing lines didn't work out as well this past week, but Survivor segment did as well. And one of the teams that I said, hey, this is a team that's of the big spreads that I will not consider playing is the Packers. And what do you know? Cleveland pulling off the upset. Cleveland yesterday, they're down 3-0. The first portion of this game where you were like, oh, is Green Bay going to get this done, was this little sort of innocuous part at the end of the first half. It was 3-0 Green Bay. I don't know if you saw this, Kelley. Cleveland 4th and 8 at the Green Bay 43 with 12 seconds to go in the half. They're down 3-0. Flacco heaves it downfield, and Xavier McKinney stupidly picks it off at the Green Bay 9.
Yes, bat it down.
It cost Green Bay 34 yards. and they have to just go to the locker room up 3-0, as opposed to having a shot at maybe getting in field goal range.
There wasn't much time left, but there was enough time left to possibly make one completion and get in field goal range. Yeah, don't worry, I caught every play of this game.
So sorry.
I can provide rage on everything.
So 3-0. We're in the second half. Green Bay, then, second time they get the ball, they matriculate, 71-yard drive, 3rd and goal to Cleveland 3. Love to John Fitzpatrick. Oh, good forget John Fitzpatrick. 10-0, Green Bay. 3:23 left in the third quarter. And you, Green Bay backer and Green Bay teaser player.
Finally starting to get it together. Gill, it was a tough first half. It was clearly some domination in the trenches. Green Bay had some offensive linemen in and out, maybe some conservative play calling. I'll go with that at least. I thought it was conservative play calling. But the Browns can't do anything on offense, so it's 10-0. And I'm looking good.
You know, it's never a good inflection of one's voice before disaster is da-da-da-da-da, sabba-dooba-dee, shooba-dee-ba-doo, and then it just goes really bad. Cleveland from their own 20 now. This is several drives later because it was just a punt fest. This is
and the clock's being bled, right? Like this is like the game's running by.
We're in the fourth quarter. It's 10-0. Cleveland from their own 20, they matriculate. They get it to 1st and goal at the 1. Incomplete, chop block, 4-yard loss, 3-yard gain. They're forced to settle for an Andre Schmidt 35-yard field goal. 10-3 Green Bay with 3:42 left. They had it 1st and goal at the 1. You got to be feeling great about yourself after that.
Killer penalty. Yeah.
And then here we go. Green Bay, third play, 3rd and 3 at their own 25. Remember, there's just over 3 minutes left in this game. They throw. Jordan Love, picked by Grant Delpit, returns at 25 yards to the Green Bay 4.
What are you doing?
In the world is about to happen? Then a PI in the end zone. Quinshon Judkins, your guy, in from 1, 10-10, 3:01 left. We are tied just like that. Love these sports expressions. Just like that. 10-10, 3:01 left. But Green Bay still got the ball. Not only do they have the ball, they get a 35-yard kickoff return and a PI to start the drive. They're already at the Cleveland 40 with 2:47 left. Then 18 more from Love to Tucker Kraft. The Pack is in business. They're at the Cleveland 22 with 2 minutes left in the game and 20. It's over, right? All they have to do is kick a field goal.
Milking the clock, setting it up.
27 seconds left. 10-10. Brandon McManus, 43-yard field goal try. Blocked. What a sequence in the NFL. This block, what was going on in the Rams-Eagles game, what was going on in the Jets-Tampa game, all in this little condensed portion. It was just absolute plinko mayhem. Blocked by Shelby Harris. Greg Newsome returns it to the Green Bay 48 with 21 seconds left. Kelley Bydlon losing his mind. I wish we had the Kelley cam at that point.
Dude, I'd already lost it. Flacco, something like this just felt, fitting for the moment.
Flacco to Jamari Thrash for 3, to Njoku for 8, 2 plays later. Spike with 3 seconds left. Schmidt from 55. Good. And we have the biggest upset of the Survivor year. Cleveland 13, Green Bay 10, 1,817 Survivor entries, toast. Flacco only threw for 142 yards passing. And this is at Detroit. Detroit again plays tonight. Do you have a plan? What is your play tonight? Detroit at Baltimore?
I laid the points with the Ravens. Bad number.
4.5?
Deserve to lose that. 5.5.
5.5. You took a bad number and you're it's like a hateful on yourself spite bet, taking the worst of it. Is that what you're doing now?
No. I bet it on the opener. I bet it on the open. There were 6.5s out there. I thought I was being all smart. And now it's come the other way. Since
Green Bay was an 8-ish, 7.5-ish point favorite in the end at Cleveland, Detroit, sight unseen tonight at home against Cleveland, would have to be at least that right. I said Detroit minus 8.5.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. You're all over it. 8.5 out there for that game. I'm trying to find it. There was also the possession where Green Bay was backed up. Wyatt could probably help me out here. They were backed up, and they completed that first down to Golden. They're backed up against their own end zone, and they got that first down to Golden, and Golden kind of casually goes out of bounds. I don't know if you remember the play I'm talking about. I'm trying to find the play-by-play, but I was like, I didn't see anybody else bring this up, and I'm like, man, it looked like he was I don't want to crush a guy for concentrating on getting the catch and 2 feet in before he went out. It sure looked like, though, he could have turned it upfield, Gill, and been gone for about 80 yards. That was a tough game.
That was Green Bay on extra rest, too.
I know.
Yeah. Looking for value. I'm not sure we found any yet. We continue with the Sunday games. Guessing lines for Week 4 in the National Football League. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody. As we guess the lines for week 4. Looking for value. I don't believe I found any yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't believe I found it. We'll get there. There's always more games coming. Let's go to, we get tweets at Beating the Book. This is from Jonathan Doe. He says, Barn Burner is a John Wilkes Booth reference, meaning that when after John Wilkes Booth assassinated President Lincoln at Ford's Theater, that they cornered him in a barn when they found him, and then they set the barn on fire to force him out. It actually predates that. Originates from the 1840s. So some 20 plus years beforehand, 20 years before, a political faction known as the Barn Burners, who were radical Democrats willing to burn down the barn to get rid of issues they opposed, like the expansion of slavery. That's what Barn Burners comes from. So Keith Jackson used to use that for a football game. That's going to be a barn burner. I don't know how he decided to use that.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Okay.
There's no idea. This is from Jeff Holdorf. The underreported play of the game among many in the Green Bay-Cleveland game is the amazing coaching job by Stefanski to be so well prepared to throw a 7-yard pass over the middle with 0 timeouts and 12 seconds remaining, spikes the ball with plenty of time remaining. We just went through that play. It was great. 8 yards into Njoku, spike with 3 seconds left. The Browns, the way that they sprinted up to the line of scrimmage and got, because it shouldn't have been that. I mean, it could have been a lot closer than that, but they were perfectly set up.
I mean, those are the positives of having a Joe Flacco there, right?
Yes.
Flacco and Stefanski, like they're on the same page. They know what they're going to do there.
I will say this about that play that you mentioned, though, because I pride myself on not missing any of the nuanced details of any of this game on guessing lines.
Wyatt just showed us an angle I didn't
Wyatt
see.
Tomchak, noted Packers fans, comes in and shows it. This is one of the early one of the early drives that the Packers ended up resulting in a punt of the fourth quarter when they're up 10-0 at this point.
Up 10-0.
He had the back end zone view of this. Love hits a wide open Golden deep for 30. It ends up being a 34-yard pass play. But Golden, speedster, is behind the defense and seemingly did not have so much momentum that he couldn't have gone straight. But he just sort of that was amazing.
Yeah, I had not seen the angle Wyatt just showed. When you were watching it at home on TV, it was tougher to tell.
That's brutal.
Yeah. And I still won't kill the kid because it was a big third down. They're backed up against their own goal line. It was a third down. I understand as a rookie, you're just thinking, let me catch the ball, get 2 feet in. I don't think he realized the safety had blown by him. And it was, I mean, Gill, it was wide open grass. You're talking 17-0. This game's over. And then everything started after that. They punt. Yeah. Browns come down, kick a field goal, and that's where that all started from there.
I wonder, is there a conversation with Golden in the Packers this week? There has to be. Someone has
to about that play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone has to pull him aside and be like, explain to me what happened here.
Man, it's tough. I think it's one of those great tough rookie conversations, right? Where you're like, hey, good catch on third down.
Yeah.
You're gonna be an NFL wide receiver. You got to make something bigger out of this.
Wyatt, where can people find that? That's fascinating to me. That's a highlight people need to see. All right, David Buskey. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. He says, a lot of people got knocked out on Survivor taking the Packers. In my opinion, you shouldn't take a team on the road, right? Thoughts? Thanks, Gill. Love the show. Thank you, David. Look, I think that's one of your first filters. But will you be able to go through 20 weeks without taking a team on the road? Probably not. Probably at some point you might have to do that. Patty Romp, moment of silence for both my Survivor pools where I took my Patriots. Not an NFL guy, but I haven't been this mad since they refused to draft Lamar Jackson with their 2 first-round picks. Don't worry, though. My second option lost, too. And then Joe Pita, our buddy, at Magic Rat SF. If anyone left in Survivor has taken the following path thus far. Week 1, Cincinnati against Cleveland. Week 2, Dallas against the Giants. And Week 3, Tampa Bay against the Jets yesterday. He says you should be in line for a sponsorship from the makers of defibrillators or at the very least Maalox. You must come to work Monday looking like a disaster survivor. That's right.
But blood pressure medication.
Dressed up all frayed like you've just gotten, you cheated death.
That's a good call.
That's what you did.
Has anybody taken 2 of those 3 that we know? I'm sure we have. I'm sure someone took the Bucks. Did you take the Bucks at all last week?
No, one of my entries had Dallas week 2.
Yeah, I had Dallas week 2.
Yeah.
I didn't have Cincinnati or Tampa Bay, though.
I don't think I had week 1 Cincinnati. Maybe I did.
Gill and I
but not on the same entry.
Turned into actively rooting against Tampa Bay at the end of that game.
Yes, we did.
Once we figured out neither one of us was involved.
Next.
All right, Sunday early window, Panthers at the Patriots.
All right, Panthers, we already talked about. Beat the Falcons while getting outgained. Still beat them 30-0. Bryce, 16 of 24 for 121. Like I said, outgained 332 to 224, but +2 in turnovers. That's what matters. And then New England, -4 in turnovers. Even though they outgained Pittsburgh 369 to 203, it's the -4 in turnovers that matters. Drake May, 28 of 37 for 268. Sacked 5 times. 2 by TJ Watt. New England -3. What else can this be? At home against Carolina?
Dude, I'm with you. I'll have to see where this opened at. New England 5.5.
What?
Yeah.
Give me the Panthers. There's the first one. Not that the Panthers, again, we just talked about the stats and how, was it a 30-0 blowout? No, based on the stats, it wasn't. But why is New England laying 5.5?
I don't know.
So it's the team that
I want to like this New England team too, but man, they haven't done anything consistently enough for me to be impressed.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to play the Panthers?
Yeah,
I think he is. Panthers, that's the first value play. God, I hate that. But
it's a gross fun dog. I'm with you, though. I don't really know. Maybe you could sell me on New England a little, like 3.5. I don't.
But 5.5?
How we had a 5.5, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That feels like a lot.
Next.
Okay. Chargers at the Giants early window.
Chargers at the Giants, 3-0 against 0-3. Chargers yesterday beat the Broncos. It was 3-0. And then the Chargers were knocking at the door. 3rd and 9 at the Denver 27. Herbert picked off, deflection by Brandon Jones. Denver then punt after Nix missed a wide open Mims Jr. downfield. Chargers set up at their own 46, 9-play drive on a drive that saw Najee Harris blow out his knee. There's our second. Oh, no, Najee Harris was an Achilles. Right? Pardon me. Yeah. Najee Harris was the Achilles, untouched. Hampton in from 3 out later, 10-0 Chargers, late second quarter. Denver 4th and 2 at their own 48. With 46 seconds left, they decide to go for it. Nix deep to Sutton behind the defense from 52 out. Touchdown. What a play. Without that play, this is not close. Chargers lead at 10-7 and into the locker room. Third quarter, Denver 3 plays, 66 yards. They take the lead. Dobbins for 41, 6 and 19 into the end zone, 14-10 Denver. And then on the ensuing kickoff, Darius Davis fumbles. JL Skinner recovers. Denver set up at the Chargers 30. They have to settle for a Lutz 42-yard field goal. But Broncos are up 7 points here early third quarter. Then after a Dicker field goal to cut it to 17-13, Denver's second time after that, they have the ball, set up at their own 41. They convert a 4th and 1 at the Chargers 32. Nix to Sutton for 22 with a face mask tacked on. But first and goal from the 5, they have to settle for another Lutz field goal. This one from 26 because they got an offensive pick called in that sequence. So 20-13 Broncos, 12:21 left. Later, Chargers, 7 plays, 76 yards. Herbert to Allen from 20 out as Herbert eludes the rush, and Allen makes a one-handed grab in the end zone. What a play by both of those guys. 20-20 now, 2:37 left. Denver 3 and out, and again, Nix overthrows Sutton deep. 2 really bad overthrows by Nix in this game to receivers wide open downfield. Chargers from their own 32, methodical, right? With 1:43 left. Herbert, 3 straight completions to start the drive into Denver territory. 3 plays later to McConkey for 12, down to the Denver 27. Cameron Dicker, 43-yard field goal, splits the uprights at the gun. 23-20, Chargers win it. Herbert, 28 of 47 for 300. They out first downed Denver 29-9. They held Denver to 2 of 13 on third down. Despite being -2 in turnovers, the Chargers win. And then if you missed the game last night, how would you describe this game? 22-9 Chiefs. What's the opposite of a barn burner?
A rock fight.
You just leave the barn.
The rock fight,
You just leave it as it is. Giants 4th and 3 at the Kansas City 28. Nick Bolton bats down a Wilson pass. That's how that game started. The Giants went for it on 4th and 3 at the Kansas City 28. Scoreless game. It'd be 6-0 after 2 Butker field goals. Giants 3rd play, 3rd and 7 from their own 29. Wilson picked deep by Chris Roland Wallace. returns it 23 yards, just like that play that in overtime against the Cowboys. He just kind of threw it up there. Casey set up at the Giants 47. Butker misses a 40-yard field goal wide right, and then the Giants matriculate all the way down the field. Scatabo in from 13. It's 6-6. Jamie Gillen's PAT is blocked because no Graham Gano at this point in the game. They would later get him out on the field, but they weren't trying to at this point. Gillen, PAT blocked 6-6. And the closing sequence of the first half was just absolute mayhem back and forth. Wilson threw a pick when they had the ball within the closing minute. That allowed Mahomes to just throw the ball downfield, draw a PI penalty. 9-6, Chiefs at the half. Chiefs would go up 16-6 with their first drive being a successful touchdown drive to start the second half. 16-9. This is the thing that everybody should talk about is the late sequence here. At 22-9 late, the back door is open for Giants bettors. The over in the second half is open for over bettors. And at 22-9, Giants get it to 1st and goal to 4 after an amazing catch by Wan'Dale Robinson for 26. Then here's the sequence from Russell Wilson. Intentional grounding where he throws it in the tunnel. Then he goes for 4 yards. Then a throwaway and a throwaway that might as well have been in the tunnel also.
Yep.
What in the world was that? By the way, they got the ball again and they had a 4-and-out. But like that sequence was like, what is Russell Wilson doing?
I mean, I think that would be the sequence. The sequence, the last thing needed for this coaching staff to make a quarterback change.
Giants were 1 of 10 on third down, 1 of 4 on fourth. They were -2 in turnovers. Anyway, Chargers at the Giants. I mean, 7.5 on the road? Is that too much?
Dude, 5.5, and explain that one to me.
Okay.
Chiefs just closed 6 last night.
Well, we didn't have any value, but I think the Panthers followed by the Chargers qualifies.
Yeah.
Chargers are only 5.5?
5.5, 6.
What the? Give me the Chargers. Give them to me. Coming back, guessing line. We found value.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Sharp plays in full effect, unmatched, pardon me, I said unwatched. Unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. We invite you to check them out, sharpplays.com. Not the Sharp Plays, just sharpplays.com. Skill Alexander, we get tweets at Beating the Book. Y'all are the best. Seriously, filling in the blanks wherever we don't. DC Republican. That's what he goes by. He says, Gill, my great-great-grandfather, last name Garrett, owned the barn that Booth supposedly died in. Lots of history here that not many are aware. Wow. Great-great-grandfather owning the barn that they found John Wilkes Booth in. Steve the Proxy has given us the video, courtesy of Peter Bukowski, of that Matthew Golden play.
Yeah, Wyatt texted this to us.
Oh, he did as well. But I'm just saying on Twitter, for the rest that aren't getting text from Wyatt, it's out there. And, you know, from the normal 50-yard line camera, it doesn't look as bad as it does from the back.
No, it doesn't look as bad. I was still flipping out about it. But
yeah, but it's still bad. Where
That's where, when I was watching, I was like, did anybody else just see what I saw? And because of that angle, I thought it would be lost on a lot of people.
What Peter Bukowski is saying is he peeks at the safety expecting to take a hit.
Right.
But Delpit,
he's gone. He ain't there.
But Delpit had taken such a bad angle that he had nothing but grass in front of him. Wow.
Somehow, I'm just, it's on loop now in front of me. Somehow Golden gets behind the coverage. The one safety comes up and takes a terrible angle, and then one safety's trying to get over to cover him, but it is a lot of grass in front of him, man.
Greg Jones, who chopped a couple years ago. Greg Jones. He went Cincinnati, Dallas, Buffalo. So not quite the trifecta of sphincter tighteners, but still tight enough for the first two. Rhodes. Oh, you want a little transitive property here? Rhodes knows. Panthers lose to the Jaguars. Jaguars lose to the Bengals. Bengals lose to the Vikings. Vikings lose to the Falcons. Falcons lose to the Panthers. What does these mean? He says, bet against the Vikings and Panthers?
Bet against all of them.
That was a lot. Yeah. Michael Burns, question for you two. When did trends become known as betting systems? I have a buddy in DC that always uses the word system. It's a system play. And it always relates to some nonsense trend that he's found, like on StatFox.
Yes, good question. I don't know. I've heard them used interchangeably too, and haven't fully understood that.
You know what Bob calls trends? like from databases, technical analysis. So he's his math model, and then what he calls trends is technical analysis.
Okay.
Yeah. I never liked that term. Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties.
I always like calling them just betting statistics. You're just like, if we're talking over-underers.
I just call them trends. Torch D. I'm in on the Panthers as well. I've been doing my own guessing lines with you, and I made the Panthers -1.5. Bet it last night at +4.5. So he says he's angry because he got the worst of that. It's at +5.5. I just bet it. Bet Panthers +5.5. Bet Chargers -5.5. I don't understand that Chargers line either. Las Vegas 514. Yo, did you know a rock fight can describe the traditional Lukang Taiwan event where men from different surnames would throw rocks in a festive, non-public gathering? A&G, the show with all the info.
Well, what? Can you read that one again?
I don't know.
Or should I read it on my own?
We should probably go to the next game. Yeah, we should probably go to the next game. What do you got next?
Oh, man. 3-0 versus 3-0, Gill. Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
I'm right on the records? Yeah.
You're right on the records. No question this Philly game for Rams backers qualifies as the worst beat of the NFL season if you're a Rams backer. And if you're a Philly backer, good God, just remember it the next time something bad happens to you. This game, Philly looked terrible in the first half. Stafford was picked by Zach Bond. Philly couldn't do anything with it. They could do. They were set up at the LA 38. They end up with a 4th and 2 at the Rams 30. They do not go Tuchus push on that one. They have Hurts run around the left side. Actually, I think it was around the right side. 4 plays later, they have a 4th and 1 at the Rams 3. Tuchus push where the guard clearly false starts.
Yep.
They don't call it again.
Even though the refs were supposed to be looking out for it this week.
They walkie-talkie the people in New Orleans. They're like, we messed up one. Make sure to call one on the Saints later on this afternoon.
Take it out on somebody else.
Then first down, next play, Tuchus push in from the 1, 7-0 Philly, a little more than halfway, little less than halfway through the first quarter. But then it's all Rams, 7-3 after a 51-yard Joshua Carty field goal. Philly 3 and out. Rams from their own 46. Stafford to Devontae from 44 out. Touchdown. 10-7 Rams. 1:20 left in the first quarter. Philly 3 and out. Carty 28-yard field goal. 13-7. Philly 3 and out. Carty 33-yard field goal. 16-7. Philly 3 and out. Rams from the Philadelphia 48 with 1:52 left. Carty 46-yard field goal. 19-7. Total yards in the first half, Rams 212, Eagles 33.
Blowout, Gill.
And the blowout continued early in the third quarter when on the second play for Philly, 2nd and 7 at their own 13, Hurts sacked by Jared Verse, fumbles, recovered by Nate Landman, and the Rams set up at the Philly 10, 1 play Stafford to Kyron from 10 out, 26-7 Rams, less than a minute into the third.
Dude, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting there thinking, man, I might have been off on how good this Rams team is because I undersold them. They're this good, Gill, and the Eagles got major concerns.
Oh, I went the other way. I was like, the Eagles are terrible. This team is terrible. I love it. And then the Eagles are like, you do remember we were at a Super Bowl champions,
yeah.
Right? Philadelphia, 5 plays, 79 yards. Hurts to AJ for 38. The big chunk next play to Goddard for 33, touchdown, 26-14. Then it's a Rams punt. Philly, 87 yards, Hurts to A.J. Brown from 9 out. Maybe a push-off. Doesn't matter. Wasn't called. Touchdown, 26-21 Rams. 2:16 left in the third quarter. Rams get it to 4th and 1 at the Philly 46. Kyron stuffed for 1 yard loss by Jordan Davis. Philly from their own 47, 3 and out, or so it seems. They decide to go for it on 4th down after Hurts was sacked by Byron Young on 3rd. I don't know why Sirianni did this. 4th and 7 at midfield. Hurts incomplete, intended for Brown. Curious decision. And the Rams are in business. They're still up. Remember here? 26-21. Carty, 36-yard field goal try, blocked by Jalen Carter. Philadelphia from their own 9 with 8:42 left. Hurts to A.J. for 25 and 23 on the drive. 4th and goal at the 4 with 1:41 left. Hurts to Devontae from 4 out, touchdown. And Philly has their first lead, 27-26, 2-point conversion fails. No matter. Rams from their own 30 with 1:44 left, right? All they need is a field goal. They get it to field goal range. They get it to 44-yard field goal try with 3 seconds left. Joshua Carty. It just got blocked by Jordan Davis on the previous one. By Jalen Carter on the previous drive. You never get a field goal blocked twice in a row.
No, never.
Until this. Blocked by Jordan Davis. And then Davis with no reason. Jordan, you blocked. Here's the thing. You blocked the kick. You don't have to pick it up and go to the house. The game's over. Just fall on it. I have the Rams plus 3.5. No, he's got to scoop it and score it. What are you doing?
Not even. You don't have to, Gill. Like, go down before something bad happens.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like, don't go down before something
That's
terrible
what I mean.
happens.
You're supposed to sit on it. 61 yards later, touchdown.
Awful.
Philadelphia 33, Rams 26 in the worst NFL beat of the season. And for Rams bettors, wow, that's the worst in a long time.
I was laughing at did you see the
Look, I'm crying. Tears are coming out of my eyes.
Did you see the next gen stats? Jordan Davis, like 18.3 miles per hour or something like that. The fastest by any NFL player, 330 pounds or more. I'm like, yeah, how many times have we calculated those?
My buddy Jeff Hoos, who used to work at the Aria.
Yeah.
Jeff Hoos, what was his line for this? Because it was so accurate what he says. He says, every big play at the line of scrimmage in this game, Philly held their heads in the toilet and took their lunch money. It's so true. Every big play in that game, Philly was like, watch this. Oh, man. They're at Tampa, is Philly. Tampa, I mean, again, all this happened in the same window. Tampa Bay, we'll just go to the sequence at the end. It is 23-6 Tampa Bay in this game. 23-6 midway through the third quarter. Jets 80 yards to Garrett Wilson from 11 out, 23-13, 10-12 left. No biggie, because Tampa Bay then gets a McLaughlin 55-yard field goal, 26-13 with 6:13 left in the game. I mean, what are the likelihood of the Jets getting 2 touchdowns? 73 yards to Lazard from 6 out, 26-20 with 3:40 left. Tampa Bay at the 2-minute warning. McLaughlin setting up for a 43-yard field goal that would pretty much ice it. Blocked by Will McDonald, the fourth, who jumps cleanly over center. Scoop and score, touchdown, and the Jets lead at 27-26 with 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. Kelley and I were like, do you have Tampa and Survivor? Do you have Tampa and Survivor?
No.
Let's root against Tampa.
Let's go Jets.
But you know what Baker Mayfield said? I've got them right where I want them. Got them right where I want them. You mean I need to engineer a scoring drive for us to win? Sure. From their own 34, Mayfield to Igbuka for 28, followed by a pass to Igbuka on the sideline that I have no idea how that wasn't a catch. Where they ruled a non-catch. No matter, 20-yarder to Shepard, sets up McLaughlin, 36-yard field goal at the gun. Good. Tampa Bay wins at 29-27. Todd Bowles, after the game, asked about that blocked field goal, scoop and score by Will McDonald. Quote, this is Todd Bowles. Excuse my language, but you got to be blanking me. Then after, by the way, he used 2 different words there. Then after that, we see how much time's on the clock, calm down, and win the game. And they did. Tampa Bay's 3-0, and they could be 0-3.
Yes.
Philly,
Point differential 6, I believe. They are +6 on the season.
what are they, the Guardians? We're going to be started on that. Philly -3 on the road, I said.
It's Philly 3. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I think that's right. Based on, I mean, not that
2.5 at DraftKings. Well,
Philadelphia
Juiced to
just turning it on yesterday when they wanted to. And Tampa Bay, the cardiac kids so far.
I'm going to watch this one this morning, Gil. I might end up on the Eagles here, though. Offensive line injuries. Mike Evans questionable next week.
Coming back, looking for more value on a numbers game.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
ProfitX changing the game, beating traditional sportsbooks on spreads, totals, and money lines through weeks 1 to 3. They offer unmatched value with yes/no touchdown markets and even let you request your own odds. Live in 40 live in 40 plus states. ProfitX brings more liquidity, sharper player props, and improved live betting every single week. Don't cost yourself money. Download ProfitX today with code VSIN and get up to $200 in profit cash your first month. Used Profit this weekend. Was in Cali. Used it again. Got a favorable price on the Miami Hurricanes.
Nice.
Easy peasy.
I was sweating that one Saturday as well.
Just a pleasure betting ProfitX. By the way, yeah, Miami should have. That was one of those games where they should have covered like just so easily.
Yeah, it like died in the third quarter. You're like, what's happening here?
It was ultimately on the final scoreboard, right? It looked like it was easy, but there was a moment there like, are we really going to lose this bet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically capped all of our college guys, man. I've really just been tailing them. I think I've grinded out profit every single week so far in college.
Dr. Bob has not missed a play.
Yeah, they've been great.
6-0 on the year on the show, Dr. Bob.
Felica, too. Fezzik's been hot with college football.
Yep. Everybody doing great. College football guessing lines. Isolating value.
Yeah. Apparently that's doing well, too. I'm not even betting my own stuff. I'm just betting these other guys.
We get tweets.
Appreciate you, Fred, for actually keeping track of it.
We get tweets at Beating the Book that Joe Pita text about or tweet about, like, if you're living right, or like you should be sponsored by defibrillators or Maalox. Captain Jack has chimed in. He says, does this count? From one of my splash entries, he says, to be honest, I don't start sweating Survivor until at least November. At least that's what I tell myself. But here's one of his entries. Cincinnati week 1. That was the game against Cleveland where they had no business winning. Arizona, remember staving off that furious comeback by Carolina last week. And Tampa Bay yesterday, coming back to beat the Jets after the Jets miraculously took a lead. Arn Diggity, you got to bag it up. Am I allowed to cry about a bad beat, he says. I'm in contention for the first quarter Booby Award at Circa. Oh, my God, this is the opposite. Listen to this.
All right.
He's in contention for the first quarter Booby. He had Philly minus 3.5 and Pitt minus 1.5.
Oh, man.
It's like the Bizarro. You have to twist your brain.
Yeah.
I ended up going 3-2 trying to pick losers. I'm sorry about that, Arn Diggity.
Take away by week 2, I'd be right in that race, I think, for Booby Prize.
Arn Diggity. Mario Romero. Late to the party? He says, hey, I'm late to the party this morning. Chargers minus 5.5 a go? I said, yeah, it's a go for me. I already bet it.
Yeah, me too.
Panthers and Chargers for me so far on this show. For sure.
Just to update one other one, Vikings out to 3 at a couple spots now.
That's the Dublin game?
Yeah.
Who are they playing again?
Steelers.
I mean, why?
I don't know.
I said earlier, if it got to 3, I might take the other side. Now I'm thinking about taking Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't know nothing to do with that Steelers team, though.
I don't either.
I'd still have to be on the other side of 3 for me to consider it. But
as long as you're betting Minnesota, keep betting them. As,
yeah.
If you go past the 3 now, maybe I'll bet you. I'll bet some Pittsburgh. What's next?
All right, still early window. Titans at the Texans.
God, we're still early.
Yep.
0-3 versus 0-3.
These
race
teams suck.
The race to the bottom of the AFC South. Tennessee at Houston, or I already have a thought about this. Is this going to be are people going to take Houston and Survivor in this? Tennessee against Indianapolis yesterday. Third play of the game. 3rd and 9 at their own 36. Cam Ward doesn't see Kenny Moore. Pick 6. 32 to the house. 7-0 Indianapolis. And for those of us who had Tennessee plus the points at this point, literally less than a minute into the game, I'm killing myself. I'm like, how dumb can I be? 7-3 after a sly 57-yarder. What's going on with the field goals? Everybody's making like 57 to 61 yarders like it's nobody's business, right? Like it's just so easy.
That's incredible.
And yet everybody's like getting their field goals blocked or doinking short ones.
Yep.
Or it's so weird. 10-3 now. Later, Indianapolis 3rd and 7 at the Tennessee 42. Looks like Indianapolis is going to have to punt for the first time all season, but Jones escapes a caved-in pocket. Goes for 17. 4 plays later, JT, that's Jonathan Taylor, in from 1, 17-3. And at that point, it was just like Tennessee could never make a game of this. 17-6. Indianapolis then 3 and out with their first punt all season. By the way, that was their only punt of the game. So in 3 games to start the season, the Indianapolis Colts have punted the ball once.
Incredible.
The 2007 Patriots, remember the team that went undefeated until the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl? The second best team in NFL history, according to Aaron Schatz. 1991 Skins are first. You know how many times they punted in the first 3 games of the season? They're the closest. 4 times.
All right.
This Colts team has punted once. Okay, Kelly's like,
No. I was thinking season long. I thought you were going to go with there. Sorry, no, that's
Kelly's way of saying.
No, the Colts have been amazing. Are you kidding me? I've been so wrong on this team.
That was Kelly's way of saying, why don't you stop talking about your punting stats, Gill? Tennessee, Sly misses a 60. Okay, this is the part of the game this is the only part of the game I want to talk about because it's 17-6, right? Tennessee's not competitive.
Yeah.
This is the Brian Callahan. We do something called Dumbo of the Week. He already won it in a very competitive week 1, Dumbo of the Week for coaches. Explain this sequence at the end of the first half. Okay, Tennessee, 5:39 left in the second quarter. Remember, you're down 11 at this point. You've just forced the first punt of the season for Indianapolis. You're down 17-6. They line up for a sly 64-yarder, which would, again, tie the 3rd longest field goal in NFL history. I know I just said everybody's making this, but come on. This is the 3rd longest field goal in NFL history, this would be. Of course he misses it. It's not winning football, right? Mm-hmm. Indianapolis takes over the Tennessee 46 with 5:34 left. Now they try a Schrader 51-yard field goal, which is kind of chip-shotty, and they're up 11. What do they care? They miss. He misses, wide right. Tennessee from their own 39 now. They matriculate. They get a delay penalty with 42 seconds left. So Sly, with 42 seconds left, Kelly, tries a 62-yarder. That's tipped by Grover Stewart. So Indianapolis takes over the Tennessee 48 with 37 seconds left. They do get it to a field goal range, and Schrader kicks a 36-yarder, 20-6 at the half. That is just like, again, not winning football from Brian Callahan. You do understand that if you miss these field goals, you are giving the Colts this really short field, and what are you doing? You're already down 11.
It's not like you're kicking with zeros on the clock.
64-62 after a delay. Anyway, Indianapolis start the second half with a 67-yard drive to go up 27-6. Later, 27-13. Jonathan Taylor mad dash from 46 out, 34-13. Final score 41-20. And then there's Houston. What of your Texans, Kelly? Can I call them your Texans?
Sure. Dead wrong on them.
Houston, second time with the ball. Fairbairn misses a 52-yarder. Jacksonville goes 58 yards, helped by a PI in the end zone on 3rd and 9 at the 12. Bishal Tootin from 1. 7-0 Jacksonville. 7-3 now in the second half because this game was just a punt fest. Jacksonville, drive that takes 8:37 off the clock. They end up with a Cam Little field goal to go up 10-3. 6:23 left in the third quarter. After a Houston 3 and out, another one. Jacksonville from their own 46. They get it to 4th and 1 at the Houston 29. Decide why not kick a field goal because we're up 7. And Cam Little misses a 47-yarder wide right. So many pushes on field goals, too. Houston then 2nd and 4 at the Jacksonville 32. Stroud picked by Jordan Lewis. That matches the total number of interceptions Jackson had all last season. Their 6th of the young season. They induced no turnovers last year. It was awful. All right, a little later on, Jacksonville still up 10-3. 3rd and 10 at their own 33. Trevor picked by Jalen Petre. Houston set up at midfield. First play to Nico Collins. Deep touchdown. We are suddenly tied with 9:17 left in the fourth quarter. Houston, who has done nothing all game, 10-10. Not only that, they get the ball back with the lead. After Jacksonville, 4th and 2 at the Houston 47. Lawrence incomplete intended for Parker Washington. Houston takes over at their own 47 with 6:14 to go. Are they going to win this? 3rd and 2 at the Jacksonville 31. Stroud to Collins for 13. Tackled by Tyson Campbell and he fumbles. Recovered by Devin Lloyd. Jacksonville takes over their own 17 with 3:47 to go. At the 2-minute warning, 1st and 10, their own 44. Massive Trevor to Brian Thomas Jr. 46-yard pass and catch down to the Houston 10. And then Houston then appears to allow Etienne to score from 10 out with 1:48 to go, 17-10, because that is probably the proper game theory play at that point.
Yeah.
Because you weren't going to get the ball back. They were just going to slow it down, kick a game-winning chip shot field goal. So they get the ball back down 7. From their own 26, they matriculate. 3rd and 1 at the Jacksonville 28 with 27 seconds to go. Stroud hit as he throws. It's a duck. It's picked by Antonio Johnson. Ball game. 0-3 versus 0-3. Tennessee versus Houston. I put Houston in no man's land at -5.5.
This is Houston 7.5.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I'd love to sit here and say I'm going to take Tennessee, but guess what? I tried that last week. I ain't doing that. I'll tell you what else I'm not doing. I'm not laying those points either.
You know what, Gill? I guess it's my turn then because I took 7.5 last night.
I can't
with
blame
the Titans.
I can't blame you.
I don't know. This might be. Look, 3 weeks in, this might be overreaction to my own stuff preseason, right? You can call them my Texans all you want. I bet them to win the division during the summer. I'll have that ticket all season, so you could fairly call them. They have been one of the most disappointing teams in the NFL, and I don't know how you have them laying 7 points against anybody right now. Anybody.
Defense is fine, maybe even great, maybe even very good. But
can't do anything.
The offense is
they can't do anything.
It's terrible.
I mean, even Nico puts up a decent game yesterday, and it just doesn't matter.
Listen, I cannot blame you for taking those points. I'm just traumatized.
There's 7 and 7.5s out there.
Yeah.
I did take the 7.5.
Wow, 7 and a hook. Get out. All right, trio of games to get to. I think we can motor through a lot of these now. Have we got to the afternoon yet?
Yeah, afternoon coming up.
Okay, afternoon coming up. Numbers game at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on the numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander, Kelley Bydlon. Guessing lines for week number 4 in the National Football League. And we will continue this here momentarily. I just wanted to say a gentleman who, and I do mean gentleman in every sense of the word, who has been part of the sports betting community. I met him in 2020. I did not know him very well. Dave Sharapan passing away yesterday. So many in the sports betting community were much closer to him than I was, Kelley. I don't know your relationship with him. He's one of those guys that I wish I had known better. because every time you did see Dave or you talked to Dave, he always had a smile on his face, was always good-natured. Here's a nice photo of him with our own Dave Ross, and there's Amal as well with him, Amal Shah. That was the smile that Dave always had on his face. He came on a numbers game when I first met him in during the pandemic to talk about a stroke that he had had. And it was a really moving segment at the time. And I think I first met him when he was over at the Venetian, but then he did come on a numbers game, talk about the stroke. The last time I spoke about him here on the show was when the Circa Survivor documentary was dropping. And I remember I was saying, very prominently featured, I said the very lovely and talented Stormy Bonatoni, and I said then the equally lovely Dave Sherapan, lovely and talented Dave Sherapan on, because that's what he was. He just was lovely, a lovely man, and he leaves behind a wife and 3 girls. And again, many knew him better than I did, but I just wanted to pass along my best to his family. Just a real loss for the community. And Kelley, as many have said, it's very, very rare to find someone in the sports betting community who is universally beloved.
Yeah.
Dave was that guy.
Yeah, one of the guys that's kind of been involved sports betting content really since the beginning, or since the past 10 years. He's been involved kind of regularly. And yeah, man, Dave, I didn't know him as well as many others did at the network either, but I was hanging out with him around the holidays last year, so it wasn't even all that long ago. Great guy. It's absolutely terrible to hear that yesterday before games kicked off. And like you said, everybody loved the guy. Yeah. So we're all going to be feeling it here.
I remember at one of these college basketball tournament games at the Orleans with my mishpucha, Chrissy, and all of a sudden you'd hear someone, hey, right, it's all, and Dave in his basketball garb, right? He always had his signature uniform from some team. It was always seemed to be different on a daily basis. And again, to his wife and kids, we send our love. And the other thing, just from a more existential standpoint, I don't even know if that's the right word. It's just so weird, right? Someone who you're, let alone family members and friends and people they're here 1 minute with you, and then they're no longer. And it's just so hard for us as humans, as mere humans, to understand such a thing. So, our best to his family. No artful way to segue back into this, but I'll read some tweets here. At Beating the Book. And again, you guys are great with everything. This is Giuseppe Betta. No data to back this up, but are kickers making more from distance because of driving the ball lower, causing more to be blocked, or are guys just coming free on the edge? I feel like these have to be correlated. I mean, the blocks is an interesting thing because
I've thought about that before this season, but man, so many of them just seem to be some guy clear off the edge or through the center.
Or the Will McDonald thing yesterday with the Jets, like, maybe they figure out that a center lays low and they can hurdle him, because remember, you can't do the leverage as the Broncos know so well. And the ball's different, right? Chance Copperpot. I've been in Survivor for a handful of years now, and I can't decide when it's a good time to jump in and take the points against my selection. Wanted to take the Saints plus 7.5, but waiting. Want to get the entry fee back and stay alive. It's all such an interesting calculus with all of this stuff, right? Like, also the psychology of Survivor is so fascinating, because last week I had, in my 6 entries, I had 4 different teams. And I remember afterwards I was like, I'm never doing that again. Mm-hmm. That's too many teams. I'm making a 20-team moneyline parlay into something vastly more than that. That's stupid. Then yesterday, right, I shoved, basically, after the Bills thing on Thursday, I shoved on Seattle yesterday. Now, it turned out to be easy peasy, no problem. But then with that, you're like, I better not do, because I knew Seattle was going to be the number 1 selected team. That's not how you win Survivor.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that again either. So it
feels nice getting the Seahawks out of the way.
It does, but that's really not the way you're supposed to play. So the question is, when do you get game theory enough where you're like, I'll let them take the number 1 team, I'll take the 2 or 3. Because that's optimally how you play Survivor.
I don't want to say push back, because that's not the word, but I'll question you. Do you think is it the wrong thing to do this early at the season when you think there's not any future value left on the Seattle Seahawks? From a game theory standpoint.
Say again?
Is it a wrong thing to take Seattle and push like we did?
No. The reason that they were the number 1 pick was because people played it properly in terms of future value. They were the one team that didn't have any future value. Which again, it's different layers, right? So you know that for future value, it is the proper play, but you know everybody else knows that. Mm-hmm. And so you know it's going to be the number 1 play. And so therefore, do you just for this week do that with them? But at some point, you can't do that.
At some point, but this early in the season, I'm very okay using Seattle getting by.
I don't distinguish between early and late. I just think when's the moment to do that, right?
As far as the tweet, too, I don't, do you do that ever? No. I'd rather just find one spot later in the season if I thought if I really felt the need to hedge or get back what my entry fee was.
That's not my number one thing. Not really. But it's a thought. Tristan Paul, Gill, you missed the biggest Dumbo moment of that sequence. After the third down for the Titans' second missed field goal, Colts called a timeout, then the Titans called a timeout, then they still got the delay on 4th and 1 before the kick attempt. Oh, before the second kick attempt, yeah. No, you're right. I forgot that there was a timeout involved as well. Even dumber from Brian Callahan. All right, next.
All right, we have our first afternoon game, 4:05 Eastern, Colts at Rams.
3-0 Colts, 2-1 Rams. Rams coming off just how do you get 2 field goals blocked at the end there, back to back? How? Colts, Jones, 18 of 25 for 228, and the Colts win over the Titans. Taylor, 17 for 102 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor still doing it after all these years. And then the Rams in that ridiculous loss to the Eagles. Again, worst beat of the year for Rams bettors. Stafford, 19 of 33 for 196, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Puka, 11 for 112. Cardi, 4 of 6 on field goals, but you know the 2 he missed. And they outgained Philly, the Rams did, 356 to 288. I will say the Rams, this is interesting. This is an interesting game. Does the market really believe in the Colts? I'll say Rams -4. Hoping it's less.
You are pretty much dead on. There are 3.5s and 4s out there. 4.5 at DraftKings. They are the one who are a little off.
Bet the Colts, people. Get it down to 3. And then I'll jump on the Rams.
You want to lay it with the Rams? Yeah, there were some, I guess this is about the range. 4.5 pretty much is where it opened yesterday. So it's been Colts money, if anything.
Next.
All right, next up, 4:05 Eastern, Jaguars at 49ers.
Oh, good. We talked about both of these teams, too, so we can talk about these. Jacksonville, 2-1 now. At San Francisco, the 3-0 Niners. Again, another one of these 3-0 teams that you're like, really?
Dude, they're going to be like 7-1, and we're going to be like, I don't know how good the Niners are.
That's right. Trevor Lawrence yesterday in Jacksonville's win over Houston, 20 of 40 for 222. Jacksonville was +2 turnovers in that game. And San Francisco, Mac Jones, that last drive was everything. He ended up 27 for 41 for 284, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Pearsall, 8 for 117, 8 catches for 117. And then McCaffrey filling up the box score, 17 carries for 52, 10 catches for 88. Niners were held to 2 of 10 on third down, still won.
McCaffrey's been awesome. Just worth throwing out there. I don't know how long it can last. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like with him these days, but he has been awesome.
Yeah, I had to say it out loud.
I know.
I don't know how good San Francisco is, and guess what, Kelly? I don't know how good Jacksonville is. So I just said San Francisco -3.
3.5. 3.5.
Okay.
I think I'd lay it if it got to 3. Although I don't know what. Do you have? I don't have any more information on what their quarterback situation is. I guess Mac Jones all hobbling around at the end of that game.
Oh, he was hobbling late third quarter on that sequence. Yeah.
So that will be one I will be waiting on before doing anything.
Remember, we thought last week for a couple days that Brock was going to play, or it looked like he was trending towards playing.
Kyle Shanahan's such a liar. No, one of the top liars in the NFL.
Liar. Next.
He's always that guy that's like Friday saying there's still a chance, and then they're bringing up someone off the practice squad. Okay, real quick, 4:25 Eastern. I'm going to go inaudible. Bears at Raiders? No, I can't do that. Ravens at Chiefs.
Ravens at Chiefs, so we can get through it. Baltimore plays tonight again, 4.5-point favorites hosting the Detroit Lions. Good Monday night game. I think Baltimore's the best team in the NFL. Sight unseen, though, this week. They're at Kansas City. Now, Kansas City, again, if you watched that game last night, there was nothing that inspiring about Kansas City. Again, Travis Kelce hasn't lost 1 step. He's probably lost 2.5 steps, and there's still no Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. Though we might get Worthy back.
Sure, maybe. I don't believe it.
Sure, he says. Mahomes was 22 of 37 for 224 yesterday. They held the Giants to 1 of 10 on third and 1 of 4 on fourth, +2 in turnovers. I will say Baltimore is a 3.5-point road favorite at Kansas City. Sight unseen.
Your line makes a lot more sense than me, than what I'm looking at, Gill. 2.5 threes out there. I bet 2.5.
Give me the Ravens.
Yep.
Give me the Ravines. Really?
Yeah, really. I don't get it either.
I'm going to scour for a 2.5 right now. Good God. We found value after all in a few of these.
Yeah.
Coming back, there's more. Guessing lines on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV. What did I leave out? Sirius XM Channel 158. However you're taking us in, we appreciate it. And once again, Kelley Bydlon, the gentleman sitting to my left, he's waiting for somebody to give us a videotape of themselves.
Yep.
We don't say videotape anymore.
A videotape would be really impressive.
Yeah, that would be impressive. But a video of themselves taking us in on all of those platforms.
Yes.
And the prize for doing so is?
You're going to get a private video message shout out from one Gill Alexander. I'll take the video myself.
Oh, there you go. All right. By the way, Happy New Year to all who celebrate tonight, by the way, from a numbers game. I just want to read this one tweet because this is so relatable from D-Gen Southern Gent. This cuts to the essence of being a sports bettor around your loved ones. He says, I was watching my 6-year-old son score his first ever goal in soccer yesterday, while simultaneously the ending of the Rams-Eagles game broadcast in the AirPod in my right ear. Had to show my wife the joy of for my son while hiding the pain of having the Rams plus 3.5. So I cannot tell you now. It was not similar. It was not a son scoring his first ever goal in soccer and the worst beat of the year happening at the same time. But that reflects how many times have you had to, some family thing is going on and you just sort of have to just move along with it. And if you've done this for so many years, it's so natural to be able to compartmentalize. But they have no idea what's going on.
So like it's not natural for me to compartmentalize because I am by myself watching NFL like every Sunday. I usually am not in those situations. The only one that comes up from time to time, it's the jerk who has his wedding in the middle of football season. That's the only one that comes up time to time.
You realize you've stepped on a mine here for me. I have a family friend whose son is getting married. And his bride-to-be has decided that she wants to get married on December 20th. Now, do you know who plays on December 20th?
Who?
Philly
Who do the Commanders play?
Philly is at Washington on December 20th.
Oh, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal, man.
Exactly when the wedding is happening.
Yeah.
Now, these are dear old family friends. I cannot.
You can't get out of it. You're stuck. You're stuck.
Add on top of that it is not at an easily accessible location. It's a bit of planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, really?
Or at least planes and automobiles. No train. Anyway, it hangs over my head in a way that you have no idea. You have no idea.
It's the worst. You can't do anything about that. You have to go. You're stuck.
Boys and girls who
you're going to have to figure out as best you can.
Boys and girls who are getting married or thinking about getting married and been told all your life that this is the biggest moment of your life. Let me just, a little advice from an old man like myself. It's not. Sorry.
Or think about it this way. You don't want to be hated at your own wedding. Like, you don't want to think about years later, like, who's cussing me out at my own wedding right now because this is happening.
Me and my buddy Tommy are already strategizing. We're like, what are we doing? Are we leaving in the middle of it to what? He goes, absolutely we are. Absolutely we are.
I think it's acceptable behavior, too. The families would just have to forgive you. Can't do it during football season. That's the only way. I feel like everything else in life, I do a great job of getting around.
Yeah.
The random wedding, you can't do anything about.
Man, Andrew at Fix My Chip game. He says DraftKings has the Ravens minus 1.5 at the Chiefs. I just bet at minus 2.5 at BetMGM because none of the offshores had it up.
1.5.
I had to make
2.5.
I had to make a legal wager. Jason Smith. Oh, we'll get to this, Jason.
I can't believe there was more threes on the board yesterday, Gill. So they're reposting more 2.5s and threes after that Chiefs game last night.
What?
Because the Chiefs win, I guess, was so dominant. Can't make a 3.
Jason Smith, sorry about our Guardian season win total loss, but make sure you don't let Adam pull a Kenny Banya, just order soup and then try to get you to buy him a second meal. Soup is a meal.
What a great episode.
We'll get to Adam Burke momentarily. By the way, tip of the cap to the Guardians. We'll go through all the amazing numbers. It's just incredible.
He might be.
It's so incredible. I got a DM from Roxy Roxborough about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Roxy's on Cleveland too. He's not happy. You think I'm not taking it well? You should hear Roxy. Next.
4:25 Eastern, Bears at Raiders.
Bears at Raiders. The 1-2 Bears now and the 1-2 Raiders. Bears beat the Cowboys yesterday. Dallas's defense is dreck.
Dallas's defense might be the worst defense I've ever seen.
We had this conversation yesterday. Who's got the worst defense in the NFL? Is it Dallas? Is it Cincinnati?
It's
Is
Dallas.
It Miami? It's Dallas. Yeah.
It's Dallas.
Dallas second play. Javonte for 22, hit by Tyreek Stevenson, fumbles. Stevenson recovers it. Chicago from their own 24, 5 plays to Colton Loveland for 31. 3 plays later, Caleb to Roma Dunze from 35 out, 7-0 Bears. Less than 5 minutes in. Dallas on a drive that saw CeeDee Lamb's ankle inadvertently rolled over by Noah Sewell. Get to 4th and 2 at the Chicago 34. They opt for an Aubrey 53-yard field goal. 7-3. You hear 4th and 2s now in plus territory. You're always like, not going for it, huh? Chicago, 1 play, flea flicker, horrible pitch back to Caleb that was in the air for way too long. No problem. Caleb heaves it to Luther Burden, wide open behind the defense, 14-3.
Real quick, just going back, the Dallas Cowboys offensive game plan is clearly just to set up Brandon Aubrey.
I mean,
who wants a touchdown, Gill, when you could get into good field position for Brandon Aubrey?
14-6 after another Aubrey field goal. And by the way, by this time now, CeeDee Lamb is ruled out. He tried, but he couldn't go. Dallas from their own 43, Dak to Pickens for 21. The big chunk a few plays later to Pickens from 2 out. One-handed grab, 2-point conversion. We're tied at 14. 7:57 left in the second quarter. Now 17-14 Chicago. They'd get the ball back from their own 29 with 2:25 left in the second quarter. Caleb to Luther Burden for 29. Then Caleb to Kmet from 10 out, touchdown, 24-14 into the locker room.
There we go. I love it, Gil. Biggest bet of the year on over 48.5. What else could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong after the morning?
Caleb's best half as a pro.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Sure, for sure.
In what was his best game as a pro.
I called it last week.
Did you?
I called before it happened.
You did.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'd be
did.
sitting here talking about Caleb Williams and Ben
you did.
Johnson next week.
Yes,
The
you
Cowboys
did.
defense is that bad.
Did we lose Merrill Hodge in the divorce? Do we still have Merrill Hodge?
No, I don't know.
I think we have Merrill Hodge over here. Chicago. Drive that takes, this is the first time they get the ball in the second half. Drive that takes just shy of 10 minutes. 4th and goal at the 4. They go for it. Caleb to Moore, wide open, back in the end zone. 31-14 Bears with 9 seconds left of the third quarter. These long drives to begin the second half for some of these teams. Dallas first and 10, the Chicago 36. Dak to Pickens. Ball bounces off his hands right up into the air to Tremaine Edmonds for a pick. Next time Dallas had the ball from their own 5 with 8:58 left. Remember, they're down 17 at this point. This game was going to fly over, right, Kelley? Fly.
Dude.
Dallas from their own 5 with 8:58 left, convert 4th and 2 at their own 16, then a 4th and 6 at their own 27. They matriculate to 1st and goal at the 5, then 3rd and goal at the 1. Dak, ridiculous pass way over Pickens' head, then throws a pick in the end zone. Tremaine Edmonds again. Chicago 3
Why
out.
try running the ball? Oh, that would be dumb.
Dallas gets it back. This time it's Joe Milton, the 3rd in. He does well, but 3rd and 7 at the Chicago 15. Milton picked by Kevin Byard in the end zone. Incredible under. How this game stayed under, I have no idea. Under 50.5. It was 31-14 in the third quarter. And yeah, there you go.
That was really gross.
And then there's the Raiders we already talked about. They lose to Washington. Geno was 19 of 29 for 289. He was sacked 5 times. Bobby Wagner with 2 of them. But if you had Trey Tucker in fantasy, you're happy. 8 catches for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. Where did that come from? Raiders will be... will they be full? No, I said 2.5. 2.5 point favorites because, well, the Raiders don't look good at all. And I think a lot of more people saw the Bears game against Dallas, and so they won't get the full 3 because of that. They'll have the Bears in their mind. Raiders minus 2.5 is the guess.
This is Raiders 1 most places. DraftKings has this. Bears 1.5.
Wow.
Right now, this opened most places on the Raiders side closer to your number around Raiders 1.5, 2.
Bears are now a tick of a favorite?
At DraftKings.
Only at DraftKings. Okay.
The only shop I'm seeing them at. There's FanDuel's got 1.5 on the Raiders.
We still have more Sunday afternoon games?
We have, let's see. Nope. Sunday night and 2 Monday nights with the staggered Monday night
we got
start
a doubleheader on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Sunday night, though.
All right, Sunday night, Packers at Cowboys.
Oh, this is the Micah Parsons return game.
Yep.
The Micah Parsons revenge spot. We're not going to hear anything about that this week.
No, not at all.
No, they're not going to drum up that storyline. The 2-1 Packers now, after losing to Cleveland against the Cowboys, who are now 1-2. And honestly, the Cowboys won their one game by miracle against the Giants last week. Green Bay Love in defeat yesterday, 18 of 25 for 183. That's Jordan Love, not me saying Love. He was sacked 5 times by Cleveland's defense. Give Cleveland's defense credit. You know how many penalties the Packers had yesterday? 14 for 75. Dallas, Dak was 31 of 40 for 251. I mean, it wasn't his fault. Though he did throw a terrible pick. That last sequence where he just third down, threw it away, and then fourth down pick, that was awful. Ferguson, 13 catches for 82. Had to rely on his tight end with CeeDee Lamb out. 13 catches for 82. But Dallas was -4 in turnovers, man. That's all it is. Every time they got close, they seemed to turn it over. Green Bay will be a 4.5-point road favorite at Dallas. I figure if they were 8.5 at Cleveland, Cowboys are the Cowboys. The market always gives them a little Cowboys stupid bump that they don't deserve. So I'll say 4.5.
You're light. Packers 5.5 to 6.5 right now.
Yeah, that number's better than
I laid the 5.5.
Yeah, that number's better than
last
mine.
night.
That's a bad guess by me.
Worst defense. They're the worst defense to me. And now you've got, I'm looking at the Eagles hard this week, and I bet the Packers already. These are a couple wide receivers that mean more than usual to me. Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb. And I don't know that I'm expecting either one to be out there next week. That CeeDee Lamb ankle looks pretty bad. I know he got back in there, tried to play through it. He got a week off, but if they don't have CeeDee Lamb in this offense, man, it's a lot of Ferguson. You got Pickens throwing tantrums already yesterday.
Couldn't see it. Pittsburgh knows what they're doing. They know exactly when to get rid of guys.
I love guys like that where I'm like, when did you become Jerry Rice and all of a sudden you deserve every ball thrown?
Think how good Pittsburgh is today. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, that's what I was forgetting.
George Pickens. Coming back, Monday Night Games, but Adam Burke next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
You didn't see Roxy going all ham on the show today, did you?
No, I did not.
Fake cappers are everywhere, lying about their records and scamming bettors. For the first time, there's a real solution. Juice Reel, the trusted marketplace for buying and selling picks with total transparency. Here's how it works. On the Juice Reel app, every seller syncs their sportsbook account, so their full betting history is imported directly from the books. No screenshots, no fake records, no hype, just facts. That means the only way to sell picks is to prove you can win, and the only picks you can buy are from verified bettors with real results. The days of inflated profit claims are over. On Juice Reel, you can tail proven winners and get paid when others tail you. Download Juice Reel today. That's juice, like guava juice. Reel, spelled R-E-E-L.
Like juice a fishing reel.
That's a fishing reel.
Like a fishing reel.
Like reel them in.
Guava juice. That sounds good. Where are we? Hawaii?
Oh, I like me some guava juice. What are you a bigger fan of? Guava, papaya? What's all that?
Guava.
Pineapple? No? Guava?
Well, I don't know. Pineapples.
Dude, you know Starbucks?
Pineapple's such a solid choice always. It's the most solid of all juice choices.
Which is?
Pineapple.
Pineapple is, I agree.
I'll take that over. Orange, the randomness of juices. Orange can be all over the place. Give me a pineapple. I'll enjoy pineapple juice all the time.
I have a little problem with the word juice in its plural form. Kind of weirds me out.
I know you do.
Yeah, kind of weirds me out. Let me just say this about Starbucks. You know how much they have cost themselves by ridding themselves from me? They could have been making so much money for me all these years.
Oh, I forgot you had the one drink.
They used to have these guava juices or guava teas or whatever they do at Starbucks.
Refreshers.
They were
or
so good. Yeah. And then one day they decided no more guava for anybody. Well, silly you, Starbucks. I've never been back.
You got anything to say about the food there? Just save that for Friday.
Let's go to our special Starbucks food correspondent, Steve Fezzik, for a Friday report on that. I don't think he's ever brought that up before.
That's maybe my favorite Fezzik thing. Every other way. You know what? I haven't seen, to be fair to Steve, I have not seen him complain on Twitter about Starbucks food in at least 6 months.
Oh, no. It's been way less than 6 months.
Way less than that? Okay, I haven't seen it, so I want to be fair to the guy.
Really?
But,
it's like, really, Steve? I haven't heard you bring this up before.
It's very intriguing to constantly complain about someone's food and then keep eating them.
Well, it's free points.
I know it is.
That's why he does
but
it.
Still.
Jordan Pagel. Adam may have won the bet, but will take a big L if he chooses anything other than Gill's secret sushi spot.
I was trying to think myself, if I was Adam Burke, where would I have Gill take me?
Anywhere. He won the bet. Bet's a bet.
So this is like Gill's got a really good hookup with one of the best restaurants in town, but like Burke could use that anytime.
12 games over 500, 9 runs below 0.
Just like Adam could probably get Gill to take him to his sushi spot. Like I don't know if I would use that. If I was Adam Burke, I'd make you pay. I don't know why, but I would.
I'm happy to pay. I'm eating too.
Somewhere nice at the Win or something.
Ted Thompson. Rams yesterday finally found a finish to rival Joe Pisarcik's fumble that Herm Edwards ran in for another Eagles touchdown around 1972. I think it was later than that. I think it was like 75. Awful beats. Yeah, but Ted, in the Pisarcik Herm Edwards one, you literally could have kneed on the football. There was no reason for them to run a play. I get it. There was no reason for him to run back the blocked kick, but at least it was a play that had to happen, the kick itself. Brian M., big fan of the POG juice in Hawaii, passion fruit, orange, and guava. Oh, little combo. James Sopp, man, those stats read off about the Guardians also matches the eye test. But heading to the game on Wednesday night, I'll represent for Adam. They should have no chance this week, so they'll win 5 or 6. That's the thing. The Guardians, Tigers, and here it is. The baseball schedule has them playing the Tigers in a 3-game set starting tomorrow. So great.
Scuba on the mound tomorrow?
I'm not sure when.
Do I need to call up Detroit? Give them the pep talk?
And be like, you should pitch him every night.
Every night, every inning. What are you doing?
Chance Copperpot. I had a middle setup as well on the Rams-Eagles game. Missed field goal, made field goal, blocked field goal, would have cashed both. Instead of meaningless touchdown with no time left on the clock, I audibly laughed. It's been many years since a bad beat has bothered me. Chance, that's what I was talking about earlier, too. We're all numb to it at this point. Scuba Scott.
Yeah, at least you guys set up nice middles, though. Yeah, you're complaining about a middle.
Scuba Scott, the current Cleveland Guardians run has striking and eerie similarities to the 2007 Colorado Rockies. Good comp. Run an unbelievable win streak at the end of the regular season, sweeping all rounds of the playoffs except the World Series where they got swept by the Red Sox. That is eerie. Isn't it eerie? All right, we got Monday night games to get to. What do we got? There's
Monday night. Next week, Monday night, in case anybody's joining us still right now. Yeah. Early game, so 7:15 Eastern. We're going 7:15, then 8:15 Eastern for the two kicks. So I love it.
So this is not the one after another. This is a game that's happening, a staggered start. Yeah.
Hit right about halftime and the next one goes. Okay, so 4:15 Pacific, Jets at Dolphins.
Will there be baseball on that night, or does baseball start the next night?
Great question.
Playoffs?
I'll look it up.
Jets at Miami, you said?
Yes.
Jets at Miami. 0-3 versus 0-3. An AFC East race to the bottom. So we have an AFC South race to the bottom between the Titans and the Texans, and now this.
And yes, the MLB playoffs begin the next day.
The next day. Okay. Remember, no tiebreaker games, just tiebreakers to determine things. Jets at Dolphins. Tyrod, in the loss to the Bucs, 26 of 36 for 197, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 8 carries for 48 yards. He did lose a fumble. Miami on Thursday against the Bills, Tua, 22 of 34 for 146. Remember, that whole game on Thursday was made close-ish because the Dolphins were 10 of 15 on third downs in that game. Miami will be a favorite, but I don't think by the full 3. I'll say -2.5.
This game is Dolphins 2.5. Ding, ding, ding. Gill wins a giant panda.
Why a panda?
I don't know. Stuffed panda. I went from the CLV store. That's where I'm just grabbing these things. Good job.
Looks
like that could go to 3. These are 2.5 to 2.5 120s basically everywhere. Okay, next game, 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. Bengals at Broncos.
That Dolphins-Jets game is a big game for my fewest wins bet.
Yeah.
Bengals at Broncos.
Sure is.
This is funny because as I'm looking at the Bengals and it says 2-1, I'm like, are they really 2-1? Yeah, they're 2-1. They were 2-0. Somehow. Now they're 2-1 after that disaster against the Vikings yesterday. The Broncos are 1-2. Jake Browning yesterday in defeat, 19 of 27 for 140. The Bengals were held to 171 total yards. They were -5 in turnovers. Isaiah Rodgers still taking balls to the end zone. Denver yesterday in defeat to the Chargers. Bo Nix, 14 of 25 for 153. 2 really bad overthrows to receivers deep that were open. Cortland Sutton, 6 for 118 and a touchdown. They were out first down, as I mentioned, by the Chargers, 29-9. They were only 2 of 13 on third down, the Broncos, yesterday. Despite being +2 in turnovers, they lose. Denver will be this is an interesting line. I think Denver will be a big favorite here after what we saw yesterday. I'll say Broncos -6.
You're light, my friend. 7.5 out there.
Ooh, even bigger. Wow.
Yeah, it's opened like 7.5, 8.
That's probably a better line because if it's Broncos -6, people will bet the Broncos to 7. Yeah. That's probably right. Should be 7.
Yeah.
7.5 is, I don't know about that, but 7.
Good. I think it's a good teaser leg this week.
Yeah. Anything on tonight's game? Down to 4 now on the Ravens.
I'm on Baltimore to bad number, 5.5. You have them too, right?
I have them in a contest. I have them in a bet. Yes. Millions and a bet. But I have 4.5, not 4.
Yeah, we do not have the best of the numbers.
Not anymore.
Ravens, hopefully, hopefully big game tonight. And then our 2 and nobody, actually, but maybe more importantly for me and Gill, because I don't know about you. I wouldn't call it a full bet for me yet, but betting that 2.5 at the Chiefs next week, this is just a get through this game healthy and win, Baltimore.
I feel like this is like we're diminishing what a big matchup.
It's a huge game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's, could it be a Super Bowl matchup? I mean, conceivably it could. I think the Ravens are the best team in the NFL. I had them power ranked number 1 all year so far. I still have them number 1 after yesterday. Lions are my 11. I expect the Ravens to win tonight. I expect those power rankings not to change much, but I think the Lions are a really good football team. And just remember the last time they played in Baltimore, Baltimore destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
Destroyed.
I mean, I think for me, this is a lot of, you're still learning. I'm still learning about Detroit. And I've got questions a little bit. Are you the week 1 team that got rolled over by the Packers?
That's
or are
right.
you what we saw last week, putting on an offensive show at home inside, and now you got to go outside of Baltimore? I got questions. That's why I was willing to lay more than 3 in this game.
And that's the biggest difference in the Lions' schedule this year than last year is, like, remember last year they barely left indoors. This year they have to do it a few more times than that. And so, yeah, that's always a barometer. And remember, Jared Goff is not too far away from us making the Jared Goff face jokes, which is, remember that famous primetime game in Chicago when I think it was like 32 degrees, right? It was just barely freezing. And Goff looked like he was in Siberia. So I don't know. We'll see. And I agree with you. There's a lot of question marks here about the Lions and even the Ravens to some extent, right? The Ravens didn't look that great against the Browns last week until they did later in the game. But that was kind of nip and tuck for a while.
No, it was. But, man, I think that's just another. I mean, the Browns. How can you not be impressed, at least with the defense so far?
Brownies D, man. All right, we will recap all the bets I made. So what do? We found value in 3, and I have made bets in all 3 of them already. We'll review. Coming back, Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Been going around all day, last night, I should say, this morning, with the NFL Today, the old NFL Today theme in my head.
Oh, yeah?
Brent Musburger, once again. 50 years. What a tribute yesterday.
I missed that pregame. Now I'm mad. That's great.
I had known about it. I'd forgotten about it. And my buddy in DC was like, oh, this is a great tribute they're doing for Brent. I was like, oh. I ran back and watched. It was great.
Good.
Really good stuff. You made a great point about this wedding thing came up earlier. A December 20th wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Same family has a daughter. She's getting married in the summertime. Oh, that's great.
Summertime wedding. Beautiful.
I have another family member. She's getting married in Ecuador in April. Great. No problem. April. Sure.
In Ecuador? All right.
Well, the husbands are in Ecuador.
Okay.
All right. But December 20th, really? And what was your point about it? About the fact that there's no guarantee they even last, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been to one of these weddings we're complaining about. I went to a wedding during football season once, and they got divorced like within a year. I don't know if they made it more than a year.
Within a year.
Within a year.
And you put us through all that.
I've actually been to multiple weddings where that's happened. I might be the jinx. Who knows?
It's you're the cooler.
I have a good time, though. We were having that conversation. Gil doesn't like weddings. I'm very pro weddings. I have a good time.
Most
people know I'm having a good time.
You just drink.
Hey, I'm having a great time, Gil.
Or you go out there and you do the electric slide and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. All the songs that tell white people how to dance very specifically. That's all the wedding music is.
When did Parlay get married? I'm trying to think. When did Parlay get married?
Man. I did not attend. I was invited, though. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Parlay, I don't remember being a burden at all.
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, we were playing tennis in the middle of summertime.
Do that.
Yeah. Of course, Jeff knows how to do things. Blue Hen Bill on Twitter made a substantial bet on my Eagles yesterday at -3.5. Once they fell behind, I made live bets at +2.5, then later +8.5. I had them on the money line, plus I had a teaser to the Browns, hoping to cover my original wager. Good time to be a Philly fan. Yeah. Good for you, Blue Hen.
Yeah, good job.
Nicely done. All right, let's recap all the best bets. Again, the point of guessing lines, for you to play along, for you to sort of try to extract value doing this as we go through the games. Before we get to the ones that I made tonight, again, Ravens -4.5. I already have this one in pocket. It is one of my millions bets. Not that my millions entry is doing anything.
Oh, boy, Gill. Larry, you don't even have to take my page because I'm on the Ravens tonight, too. 0-4 with Ravens pending. Gross.
This is like my week one you're having. But these are the three that I made here while we were doing the show. Hey, no points bought today. Remember that whole thing last week? And we had Ella Foystel on the show. It was great. Panthers +5.5. Can't believe that the Panthers were this big of a dog. Now, do I rejoice in the fact that I have a Panthers bet in any form? Of course not. But listen, the whole point of this exercise is value is value. And Panthers +5.5 at the New England Patriots. I just don't understand why it's that big of a number. What was my guess? 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Can't believe it's 5.5. Chargers -5.5 of the Giants. I had -7.5. Why is this only -5.5? And by the way, with the Giants, we haven't brought this up. Isn't it time for Jackson Dart?
I would think so.
You don't.
No, I would think so.
Oh, you would think
I would
so.
think. Now you've got to find 3 games in. We said it. I said while we were going through the game. While you were going through that game, that's one series by Russ.
Yeah, it was so
thrown
bad.
into the tunnel. Like if you were waiting for any more excuses, but okay, fine. I'll still say what I've said before. You got to come back to: is Dart ready? That's the most important thing.
Well,
is he ready?
I don't think it's is he ready. I think it's do you think his offensive line is going to kill him?
Okay, that's fair too.
If you don't, you should probably play him because what are we waiting on then?
Yeah.
The other thing that came up last night after that, by the way, is such an aside while we're giving the picks, is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? And that came up directly after that sequence last night, which is Russell Wilson is so frustrating because for so many years he was so great.
Mm-hmm.
And last week he was great until he wasn't, right? When he threw that pick into overtime, which was just like, I'll just throw this ball up in the air, cost him the game. And then yesterday, not only the 2 picks, which were terrible, but that sequence was like, what are you doing? What was that? Anyway, I got the Chargers -5.5.
It's a great question. I'd really have to go compare numbers.
Yeah.
Top of my head, just immediate reaction to that is yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
That was my first reaction too. Chargers -5.5, and then the Ravens -2.5. Why are the Ravens less than a 3-point favorite at the Chiefs next week? Sight unseen on the Ravens tonight. So Panthers +5.5 at New England. Chargers -5.5 at the Giants. Ravens -2.5 next week at the Chiefs. Those are my 3 produced by Guessing Lines.
I think the Lions would have to win and win almost significantly tonight for that number to still be 2.5.
Me too.
Tomorrow morning.
I don't get it.
I think we're staring at 3s tomorrow morning. 3.5 probably.
And we were told 1.5 on DraftKings. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, Ravens tonight for me, laying 5.5, and then on to next week.
Down to 4 painted now tonight.
Whew. Wow. Lions money coming in. Okay, I've got Chargers laying 5.5. We're on that one together. I don't get that one. I mean, this is simple. What was the line last night? We closed 6 with the Chiefs. We really thinking the Chiefs are a better football team than the Chargers right now? I can't get there. I'm not going to say the Chargers are significantly better, but what? Okay, that's Chargers 5.5. I took the 7.5 with the Titans. I do not feel good about it, but I do not know how you could put Texans -7.5 out there right now. This Texans team just got holes all over the place. Ravens 2.5, they're with you. And then I laid 5.5 next Sunday night with the Packers at the Cowboys and what I think is the worst defense in the NFL.
By the way, I shouldn't say painted on the 4. There's some 4.5s out there still.